Thank you, Hugh, and welcome to the first of the 16 fourth-round ties in the FA Cup. A meeting between two clubs who used to be regular adversaries, and renewing that acquaintance on an annual basis remains Middlesborough's chief priority. Yet they've travelled southwest with an air of confidence, born of an outstanding resurgence. Both of these clubs' autumnal malaise was such that they sought a November revival, but whilst one new managerial bounce has really been a mere flexing of the knees, the Teesside version has seen near instant altitude and momentum. The gap to the automatic promotion positions has been more than halved. In Chris Wilder's words, Chairman Steve Gibson's poured petrol on the fire. Borough are burning bright again. And rolled on by 9,000 smoggies away to our right, this is the archetypal shot to nothing. The opportunity to deny Manchester United not only their chance of silverware, not their only chance of silverware this season, but clearly the best one, as they aim to avoid a fifth successive trophyless campaign. Inevitable comparisons have been made with the last drought like this, in 5 years from Norman Whiteside to Lee Martin, when patience and perseverance were needed along with foresight and belief. Ending that barren spell truly was the catalyst to United's greatest era, and it was the FA Cup that provided the salvation. A run in early 1990 that saw the likes of Forest, Hereford and Newcastle vanquished. 6 cup victories, all by a single goal that indisputably changed the course of United history. Now they seek that same stimulus again, one game at a time. Manchester United line up Henderson in goal, Dalot, Varane, Maguire and Shaw, McTominay and Pogba, Bruno Fernandes, and Sancho and Rashford wide, and Cristiano Ronaldo up front. Middlesbrough, Lumley in goal, Dijksdale, Fry and McNair, Jones and Taylor at wing-back, Crooks, Howson and Tavernier in midfield, Balogun and Spora up front. Manchester United red shirts, white shorts and white socks. Middlesbrough in all dark green, their away kit. It is the start of the FA Cup fourth round. 32 sides with dreams intact. But where will the shocks transpire? Middlesbrough's last cup trip to Old Trafford saw them eliminate Manchester United. A shootout success in the League Cup, but a repeat tonight would be far more significant. It's Manchester United defending the Stretford end in this first half. Away to our left, Middlesbrough kicking from right to left, and on the front foot, it is the nature of their approach that it will be a high-tempo game from Chris Wilder's side. This is an intriguing start to FA Cup fourth round weekend. Andy Townsend. Yeah, absolutely right, Jim. Really looking forward to what happens out here on this Old Trafford surface, which is in great nick, as you can imagine. Not been any football on here for a bit, and it's in beautiful condition. When we arrived in Manchester, there was sleet and snow and rain in the air. It's all stopped, so the conditions, the pitch will play quickly, it will be fast, it will test your first touch. So it's absolutely perfect, and I think we're all set for hopefully a really vibrant tie. We've got a Middlesbrough team in good form that will be confident, that will want to test themselves against the best, and we've got United that are starting to feel like they're moving in the right direction. Long ball over the top from Bruno Fernandes, hits Dale Fry on the edge of the area as he left it for his goalkeeper, who's off his line, and the chip comes in and hits the bar. And then Bruno Fernandes on the follow-up, can't hit the empty net. It was a hopeful ball punted forward from Shaw. It fell for Ronaldo on the edge of the D, just running onto it on the left-hand side of the area. Sancho tried his luck, flighted it over the stricken goalkeeper. It's come back off the bar, and Middlesbrough survive. It should be 1-0 to United inside the opening 90 seconds. Yeah, they're very unlucky. Jadon Sancho has a beautiful little chip, and it thumps the crossbar. Bruno Fernandes can't turn in the rebound, but that's a 50-60 yard ball up the middle. Joe Lumley, the Middlesbrough goalie, is standing right on the edge of the 18-yard box, waiting for the ball to drop into his hands, and it's never quite getting there. Confusion with his defenders. All of a sudden the ball drops to Ronaldo. He finds Jadon Sancho, and of course the goalkeeper is scrambling back to try and get on the line. Can't do that, and they're very lucky to survive that. Dale Fry, Middlesbrough born, from a family of Middlesbrough supporters, understandably. That was almost a horrible moment for him, a huge sigh of relief. He tried to get out of the way of it, but the ball, he turned his back on the ball, which hit him as he tried to make sure that he didn't get hit by Lumley and that the ball avoided him. It fell for Sancho, and Fernandes with the better of the opportunities that was spurned.
I just think in that situation, Jim, when you're a goalkeeper, the first couple of minutes of the game here at Old Trafford, yes, you've come out to make a decision to catch it, adjust, adapt, put your foot through it, just volley it away, do whatever, take no chances.
Strong challenge in the midfield from Johnny Howson has given a free kick away. Paul Pogba was the player that was brought down. Free kick taken quickly by Dalot into the feet of Bruno Fernandes. Plenty fluidity of movement amongst the Manchester United attacking four. Fernandes has just drifted out to the left-hand side this time, but Borough have turned the ball over and have the opportunity to bring it forward. Balogun is waiting in the middle, but Sporar was unable to play it inside the penalty area to find him. And Manchester United are going to be able to bring it away, but good pressure on the ball again. Balogun almost winning it back. But he gave it away with a touch that was just in behind his strike partner. Now Manchester United can bring it forward. It's a good run from Rashford. The ball's not quite going to get there. And on that occasion, Fry and Lumley did have the lines of communication right. And the Borough goalkeeper was out to the edge of his penalty area to make the save.
Yeah, but already you can see Middlesbrough's wing-backs are going to push high. They're going to get forward. They're going to want to get in front of the ball. There's no five in a line at the back here from Chris Wilder's team. They're trying to be as adventurous as they can. And that will allow United, of course, to counter if they give the ball away cheaply, just like they did there. Middlesbrough have to be careful that they don't allow cheap turnovers in possession.
Ronaldo dropping deep, lays it back for Pogba, links up well with McTominay. Now it's played down towards Marcus Rashford. Varane will pick it up at the heart of the Manchester United defence. Won the Copa del Rey in his Real Madrid days. Back for Harry Maguire. And Maguire back for Varane again. Down to Diogo Dalot, playing it right back for Manchester United. He's trying to find a way past Tavernier on the Middlesbrough left. And has managed to do that. Plays it back in field towards Pogba. Then McTominay is caught. And the referee puts both hands out. I think he's going to allow play to restart. It will be a free kick that he's given. It was a late challenge there by Crooks. Now Manchester United work it back inside their own half for Maguire. You're with TalkSport, exclusive national radio commentary from Old Trafford tonight. 5 eventful minutes behind us, and it's Manchester United 0, Middlesbrough 0. Andy Townsend alongside me, Jim Proudfoot, and a welcome as well to our listeners this afternoon across the United States on Sirius XM FC. Pogba flicking it down towards Rashford. Rashford riding the challenge of Howson, flicking it past him. Pogba takes over. Bruno Fernandes now towards the edge of the area. Sancho on the left-hand side of the box. Shaw on the overlap for him. Stamps it in towards Ronaldo. And it was a dramatic bicycle kick from him, but he didn't really get the power in it. And Lumley was able to take a step across to his right-hand side and save.
You know, the whole stadium drew breath and just hung on to it as Cristiano Ronaldo, with his back to goal, shapes up for an overhead kick. It was a clever little ball actually from Luke Shaw, and he just didn't quite get it right. He just shinned it a little bit.
Now Bruno Fernandes brings down another high ball forward. He might actually just have drawn an offside flag had he been able to stick that one past Lumley and into the net. Do have VAR tonight. It's not in operation for all 16 of the fourth round ties that we've got over the course of this weekend, but it is here tonight and at the other Premier League venues. That's been a good start from Manchester United, who've been more than happy to take the game to Middlesbrough. They too have played at a very good tempo inside 6 goalless minutes.
And do you know what they've done, Jim? A lot, United. They've gone long. They've gone quite direct up to Bruno Fernandes and Ronaldo right up the middle, and they've had support from the likes of Sancho and Marcus Rashford, so they've not been afraid to go from back to front. And again, I think that's totally right. In these FA Cup ties, you know, it's really important you get up to speed quickly and you start to play with that little bit of authority. I mentioned that word earlier before the game with Hugh, that United lack that, I think, sometimes. And the best way to start and best way to try and get that, play in the opposing territory, turn them round, ask questions of their defenders, and that's exactly what United have done early on.
Well, they haven't been a side that have started games particularly well in recent times. I know it was about this stage of the third round tie against Aston Villa that they scored the goal that ultimately proved to be the winner But in the last 15 Premier League games, they've only scored in the first half of 5 of them. So they are a side that is slow out the tracks.
So maybe during this little break, that's something that they've spoke about. But come on, we need to start quicker. We need to get up to speed and look a lot sharper than we have done in matches. Too often they're allowing the opposition to have possession and to start to feel their way into the game. So United have to try and dictate a little more.
It's 0-0 at Old Trafford, 7.5 gone there, midway through the first half at St Andrews. And we'll catch up with the details of the first half of Birmingham against Sheffield United shortly. It is still 0-0 there. But a free kick has been won by Balogun for Middlesbrough here. And it's going to be taken from a position about 5 yards in for the right-hand touchline and 15 adrift of the edge of the penalty area. Chance to swing it in. Crooks is in there waiting. Fry's made his way forward. It was Crooks who went up for it, but the flag is up for an offside against him. And it's a free kick to Manchester United that they'll take just outside their own 6-yard box. Here's Maguire. Down for Dalot. Dalot plays it back for Varane. Varane towards Harry Maguire just outside his penalty area. Finds Shaw. Back for Harry Maguire again. Henderson, a rare opportunity for him tonight, clearing it left-footed towards the halfway line. Header comes back from the experienced Johnny Howson, brought back down then in the midfield by Pogba, who chested it down, trying to flick it over his own shoulder, but in doing so has fouled Tavernier, and it's a free kick to Middlesbrough about 15 yards inside the Manchester United half.
What we've seen already, Middlesbrough very competitive. And again, whenever the likes of Pogba or Bruno Fernandes are picking the ball up with their back to play in their own half, there's a green shirt attached to them pretty quickly, as there was just there. And they've just won another free kick, second one in a short space of time, and this one again will be clipped in as United stack up on the edge of the 18-yard box. It will be just clipped in behind them.
United trying to hold a high line about 3 yards outside the box. It is flicked over the top by Howson, looking for the runner Sporar, who just had a little collision with Luke Shaw. But the appeals for a penalty were decidedly optimistic, and Manchester United are allowed to play their way out from the back. Dalot finding Pogba, now McTominay, put under pressure by Sporar. He's able to lay it out to the Manchester United left for Jadon Sancho. Then laid back by Bruno Fernandes into the feet of Shaw again. Cristiano Ronaldo playing it forward. His first FA Cup tie for 13 years. Sancho and looking for Ronaldo's run. But it was well covered by Paddy McNair, who knows this ground so well, the former Manchester United man. He made a couple of dozen appearances for United in the middle part of the last decade. And firmly established as a Middlesbrough favourite now with nearly 150 games for the Borough behind him. 10 minutes gone, it's Manchester United 0, Middlesbrough 0 on TalkSport, and here's Andy Townsend.
Yeah, just thinking how nice that would have been for Jadon Sancho. Had that very clever little chip and not thumped the crossbar or even hit the bar and gone down over the line. You know, that's just the sort of situation that he would have needed. So it'd be interesting to see tonight his performance. He started the game quite bright.
Ronaldo to Dalot, back in towards the feet of Cristiano Ronaldo. A little right-footed effort from him, and it lobbed up, hit Fry on its way through, and is easily saved by Lumley. Middlesbrough beginning to get a foothold in this game now. They made their way forward and won another free kick. Neil Taylor, the vastly experienced Welsh international, who signed in the autumn after his release from Aston Villa, winning this free kick, which is taken by McNair. He's found Fry to the Dutchman Dijksteel with a white bandage, heavy bandage around his left wrist and lower arm. Ball deflecting off McTominay out of the right-hand side for Jones. Now Sporar almost able to thread it down the side of Rafael Varane. Balogun had made a good run for him. Varane covered it really well and then plays his way neatly out of trouble. Forward towards Ronaldo, who claims that he was fouled by Fry. Anthony Taylor's unmoved by that and play goes on.
I agree with the referee totally. The ball was laid up to Ronaldo. It was always a little big for him to try and hang on to it on his chest. I think that was a good decision by the referee, but you know, yes, United have been bright and they've been direct and they've worried United a couple of times, but also Borough have shown already in the opening moments of this game, when they get the ball down in the middle of the park, they can pop it around. They've got extra bodies in there with Tavernier and Crooks with Johnny Howson, so they've got plenty of numbers right in the thick of things.
Here is McTominay, and he's clipped it over the head of Pogba. Bounces down in front of Dalot, who will just control it on his solar plexus and then stick it to his left-hand side for McTominay. Howson is in there trying to win it back. McTominay ends up on the deck. Bruno Fernandes has possession, so the referee plays the advantage. He's still not back up on his feet yet, the Scotsman. Now it's clicked in by Bruno Fernandes, but in behind Diogo Dalot, and it will drift away and out of play for a Middlesbrough throw. And Anthony Taylor will come across and just make sure that McTominay is okay and fit to continue. It was a heavy collision in the midfield as he just tried to come away from the ball. He nudged it past Crooks, who then turned into McTominay's flight path to stop him following the ball. And he's back on his feet, albeit winded, and it will be a throw to Middlesbrough in the left-back position. 0-0.
Yeah, he thumped into Matt Crooks, who's a big lad, by the way. I mean, McTominay is a big, powerful boy himself. And Crooks is maybe even taller than the United man, so he's run full tilt into him there and felt the full force of that.
Sliding challenge from Varane on Balogun, who's made a handful of substitute appearances since his move from Arsenal. Here's Jones now, the impressive right wing back. He made some 30 yards forward, but Paul Pogba was back to make a sliding challenge to knock it away. Now Rashford will help it forward towards halfway, but Fry's there. And the Middlesbrough man can play it through the midfield towards Tavernier. And now Johnny Howson to Dijkstad. Good ball forward from him between the lines. Laid off out towards the Middlesbrough right-hand side for Jones. Jones, all right foot, back towards Dijkstad, the famous overlapping centre-halves of the Chris Wilder team. Dijkstad making his way forward. Jones is still in there, but he's fouled Shaw. And it's a free kick to Manchester United on the edge of their own penalty area. 14 gone, 0-0.
Yeah, again there, Dijkstad there, I think, just the wrong option. When you're in those wide positions early on in a cup tie, put it in the box. You know, they've got Balogun and Sporar in there. They've got numbers that can go and attack. It doesn't have to be the greatest delivery. Just something across this fast surface tonight to give them something to attack.
Almost a perfect ball there from Luke Shaw. Bruno Fernandes and Ronaldo have both made similar runs. But Fry, who was trying to keep an eye on the pair of them, was the man that was able to get the touch to knock it away. Out for a throw which will be taken over on the far side. Chris Wilder knows what it takes to mastermind a victory here at Old Trafford. His Sheffield United side didn't win too many games last season, but they did win here. And he's hoping for a repeat. Not too many managers will have come to Old Trafford with two different teams in successive matches and won them both, but you never know. The ball's gone out of play for another throw which will be taken over on the Manchester United left.
What they haven't done, Jim, Middlesbrough, you can tell they haven't come here just to sit and try and stay in the game and wait for the last 15 minutes to see if there's something in it for them. You know, even if they're one down, all that sort of mentality, not at all. When they get an opportunity, they're trying to take the game a little bit to United as well. They know they're going to have to defend and defend very well. They know that with the pace of Rashford and Sancho and Ronaldo and Bruno Fernandes is running from deep, that they're going to have issues and problems that they've got to deal with. But they are trying to be progressive when they have the ball.
United have won their first corner. And it'll be taken over on the far touchline there, left. Luke Shaw's going to swing it in. Varane is forward. He's made a run in towards the near post. Pogba attacking from a deeper position, but it was Maguire that got his head to it. A looping one that's cleared the bar and out of play for a goal kick.
Yeah, the corner there from Luke Shaw, I'm afraid, is looped up into the air. And when the ball is delivered like that, when it goes 30 yards up in the air, it's very difficult then for Maguire to get away from those defenders and really attach genuine power onto that. And that's not the kind of delivery that those guys need. They need it flatter and faster, and then you steal half a yard, you get your head on it, and it can flash in the back of the net.
You're listening to live coverage of the FA Cup on TalkSport thanks to Neutrogena T-Gel Therapeutic Shampoo. 17 minutes gone. It's 0-0. In a fixture that Middlesbrough haven't had too much luck in over the years. United unbeaten in the last 13 meetings since a 4-1 defeat for Sir Alex Ferguson's men on Teesside back in 2005. Although Borough did knock Man United out of the League Cup on penalties here back in 2015 when Rooney and Young had penalties saved and Michael Carrick missed one. Here's Dalot. Back for Varane and now to Harry Maguire. And Maguire will just engage Sporar before flicking it to his left. Luke Shaw Played forward again very neatly by Sancho. Shaw again, he's asked too much of Sancho, as he was quick. Just gave Fry a 5-yard head start though, and that allowed the Teesside the opportunity to get there first and slide it away, and out for another Manchester United throw. Yeah, really nice one-touch football down that left side involving Shaw, Ronaldo and Sancho, but the final ball again from Luke Shaw just wasn't good enough, wasn't accurate enough. So for United, nice bit of urgency about their game. They just need to apply something on the end of it now. Fernandes with a little flick off towards the edge of the area that found Pogba. Ronaldo's layoff. McTominay. Crooks trying to win it back from him. Can't do so. Shaw into the feet of Pogba's brought down. Penalty to Manchester United. It's an easy decision for Anthony Taylor because Dijksteel was caught wrong side. And as soon as he tried to win the ball, he was always going to be second favourite. He caught Pogba instead, just on his way down. The collision was made. Anthony Taylor points to the spot, and it's a penalty to Manchester United. Do you know, he slips, Jim, I think, Dijksteel there. The ball is laid in from Luke Shaw into Paul Pogba in the box. And actually, there's no attempt to try and challenge. He actually inadvertently stands on Paul Pogba's foot, then drops to the floor and then hits Pogba, of course, who's going to go down quite rightly. And it's a definite penalty. Cristiano Ronaldo has scored in each of Manchester United's last 2 FA Cup ties against Middlesbrough. And he has the chance to extend that record further here. The man who scored in all 5 cup ties that he's played for Manchester United since his return to the club. He scored in his last FA Cup tie. 13 years on, can he give Manchester United a deserved lead 20 minutes into this one? It's the familiar right-footed approach, and he's put it wide of Lumley's right-hand post. The Middlesbrough fans in ecstasy away to our right-hand side as Cristiano Ronaldo misses a penalty. Incredible. You know what, Joe Lumley went the right way too. Ronaldo backs away from the ball, that kind of slight arced movement with his run, steps up to it, hits it hard and low to the goalkeeper's right, and drags it wide of the post. I'm shocked, I'm genuinely stunned at the fact that Ronaldo misses from the spot. He put it about 6 inches wide. I think it would have just about had the pace to beat the goalkeeper and creep inside the post had it been on target. But it wasn't. It's a let-off for Middlesbrough. So Manchester United have hit the bar and missed a penalty inside the opening 20 minutes, which remain goalless here on TalkSport. Do you know, the actual nature of the penalty was slightly unfortunate from Dijksteel's point of view. As I mentioned, he was trying to front screen Paul Pogba in the box, and backtracking, just inadvertently kind of stood on his foot, then fell over and then dragged Pogba down on the floor. It's a little unfortunate, but huge let-off, big let-off. Yeah, just as he was losing his balance and he went down, he put his right arm down to try and break his fall, and in doing so his arm caught the back of Pogba's leg. Yeah, it did. And he ended up almost rugby tackling him to the floor, which was far from his intention. That's a huge miss for Ronaldo, because he's been a bit agitated lately without the goals, and we saw that in the game against Brentford when he came off and was a little bit frustrated with Ranić, the fact that he couldn't stay out there and in amongst the United team that were winning the game and couldn't be a part of it and maybe get himself a goal that night. So, and his reaction as soon as he missed it, he was furious with himself. On the eve of his 37th birthday, nothing to celebrate so far tonight for Cristiano Ronaldo. 22 minutes gone. Here on TalkSport, exclusive to TalkSport. It's 0-0. Pogba turning it onto his left foot, spinning it wide out towards Luke Shaw, who's done well to retrace his steps quickly enough and rescue a slightly misdirected pass. Dijksteel able to bring it away, then loses out to Sancho. Shaw, the clever touch around the corner. Bruno Fernandes is past the first Borough challenge, now taking on Dijksteel and coming back to clear. Crooks gets a big ovation from the Borough supporters as he cleans everything up and puts it out of play into the Sir Alex Ferguson stand for a throw to Manchester United. It's been a hugely entertaining start. It has, because sorry Jim, it's been bright and it's been vibrant, both teams. Bruno Fernandes sweeps a volley over the bar, And the assistant referee near side has pointed to a Middlesbrough player and says he was onside. Now, initially it looked as though he was off, as Dallow has played it forward. He's clipped it in round the back of Dijkstale. He's almost got the freedom of the penalty area there, Bruno Fernandes, and he's volleyed it over the bar.
Yeah. I mean, he looked offside. He looked a couple of yards offside. It was whether Neil Taylor in the left-back position is playing him on. He certainly is. And he could have took a touch. He had 3 or 4 yards in behind, right on the penalty spot he was when he received that ball. Bruno Fernandes tried to hit it on the volley first time, could have took a touch, could have took 2 or 3 touches, could have signed the ball, cleaned it, done whatever he wanted with it before rolling it in the back of the net.
Well, that was a great call from assistant referee Gary Bezic, because that kind of move all happens so quickly. You got a defender pushing out, you got a forward making his way forward, and it looked as though he was way offside. I think he thought he was offside. So often you'll get a situation like that as McNair wins a free kick here for Middlesbrough, where a player will put the ball in the net and he'll look at the assistant referee, and then his face will sink as the flag is up. On that occasion it was the direct reverse. He missed the target, he looked and saw that the flag didn't come up, and you saw that same sinking feeling for him as he was hoping that it would spare his blushes. That was a real chance for Manchester United, but it remains a 0-0 on TalkSport.
That's that classic situation there where you're screaming at the linesman, get your flag up for me, when you know you should have took a touch and you didn't. Really good work from the official, because nowadays, Jim, it's easier to put the flag up and argue about it afterwards. So I think that was really top work that from the official. He got that absolutely spot on. Neil Taylor was just playing him half a yard onside.
So easy to criticise them. That was a superb piece of officiating from Gary Bezic. Here's Bruno Fernandes, long right-footed ball over the top. Flag stayed down again here. Sancho's got it, left-hand side of the penalty area, and it's in! Bar a slight deflection on its way through from Jones, but Manchester United have the lead, and it's Jadon Sancho. He's hit the crossbar, now he hits the net, and Manchester United lead by a goal to 0.
Yeah, that all started with some good work by Paul Pogba, pinching the ball back on the halfway line. And Isaiah Jones, the wing-back for Middlesbrough, was already on his way forward. And Jadon Sancho just had a couple of yards on him, which Bruno Fernandes spotted majestically. After Pogba wins the ball, Fernandes then clips that ball over the Middlesbrough back line, and Jadon Sancho's just got that couple of yards, those important couple of yards on the Middlesbrough wing-back. And he makes full advantage. He takes a good touch. He's still got plenty to do from the angle when he receives the ball. It's a tight angle, but he just assesses what's in front of him, drags it onto that left foot, hits it, slight deflection, and it goes over the top of Joe Lumley into the back of the net for a deserved United lead.
A goal from number 25 on 25 minutes, his first ever in the FA Cup. He scored a couple of goals in the German Cup final last season, and scores his first in this great old venerable competition. Manchester United leading by a goal to 0, and Cristiano Ronaldo will be feeling much happier about life now. That goal coming only 5 minutes after Ronaldo's penalty miss. Here's Rashford, and he's almost put it on the plate for Ronaldo. And there's an angry reaction from Lumley, who clearly felt as though the ball was there to be won. He clearly felt as though Ronaldo was in there late. A free kick has been given the way of the Middlesbrough goalkeepers. 1-0 to Manchester United.
I'll tell you what they've done well, United. They've clipped it in behind Middlesbrough. I'd say maybe almost in double figures now. And each time they've got a red shirt on the end of it. The balls that have been fed through from Fernandes, Pogba, McTominay and co really have been very, very good and very accurate. And they've worried Middlesbrough in that respect. They've turned them round, and just there another diagonal ball to Marcus Rashford, who first times it in between penalty spot and 6-yard line. Joe Lumley flies out and just denies Ronaldo a tap-in.
Manchester United leading by a goal to 0 here against Middlesbrough. We've got so much live FA Cup action coming up for you over the course of the weekend, including Kidderminster in Division 6 in Old Money, the National League North, hosting West Ham as they did back in the day. David Moyes has got a little bit of history with Kidderminster. That one coming your way tomorrow with Sam Matterface and Alvin Martin from Agborough. It's a 12:30 start on TalkSport. Chelsea against Plymouth, TalkSport 2 for you tomorrow at 12:30. Then Game Day Live with Dan Windle presenting from Selhurst Park tomorrow. All the goals as they go in from the FA Cup 4th round and the EFL. Everton-Brentford is a 3 o'clock kickoff on TalkSport 2 tomorrow. Burnley-Watford in the Premier League kicks off at 6 on TalkSport. And Matt Holland's alongside me for Spurs-Brighton at 8 tomorrow night on TalkSport 2. Live action from the Championship tomorrow as well with Swansea-Blackburn, which is a 5:30 kickoff on TalkSport 2. We've got it all covered for you on your home of live sport, and much more on Sunday as well. Manchester United bring the ball forward now with Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes trying to get the weight right on the pass for Ronaldo. He's managed it across the face of goal and wide. Lumley got his angles right, and Ronaldo dragging it across the face of goal and about a couple of yards wide of the far post.
Fantastic football from United. Bruno Fernandes has been very sharp and has worked tirelessly in this opening half an hour. Really, really good play from him. Receives the ball, little 1-2 with Luke Shaw deep in United territory, and then sprints 50, 60 yards plus to find Cristiano Ronaldo, who actually was just a yard offside. Again, from that tight angle, that same sort of angle that Jadon Sancho finished from. Ronaldo on his left foot just couldn't find the right contact.
29 minutes gone. Manchester United leading. Courtesy of that Jadon Sancho goal. Here's Lumley, much the busier of the two goalkeepers. His ball out from the back was forwarded by McTominay, high up in the air towards Ronaldo. McNair heads it away. Tavernier can head it further clear. Back it comes from McTominay again, via a touch from Fernandes, who then tries to take it on, finds Rashford! And he is offside. Well, the VAR will have a look. A couple of the Manchester United players are contesting the offside decision from the assistant referee on this near touchline, but it looks correct. And it's going to stay at 1-0.
Yeah, and the reaction from Marcus Rashford kind of says that he felt he was maybe just a yard offside. It came actually a little bit too quickly towards him. He wasn't quite expecting it, I don't think, but good work from McTominay, keeping the ball alive. Ronaldo it was that actually played it to Bruno Fernandes, who then just toe ends it forward, and Rashford right on the edge of the 18-yard box, just a yard offside. Again, good work from the officials.
Balogun wins a throw on the Middlesbrough left. Borough playing in their change kit of the very dark green. And Manchester United changing their socks tonight to play in white socks. And that is for a special initiative for colour-blind supporters to avoid the potential colour clash of black socks that Manchester United would ordinarily play in with the dark green ones that Middlesbrough have. And hence the slightly stranger kit for United tonight of red shirts, white shorts and white socks. Bringing forward Neil Taylor. Pogba's down injured. Taylor flicking it in. Left-footed ball that's driven into McTominay and goes out of play for a throw. The play's going to stop. Pogba down and feeling that left knee again. He's missed 3 months with a thigh problem. It's going to be okay here. No need for any treatment. Just being helped back to his feet now by Ronaldo. Will be all right.
Yeah, I think it was Tavernier who stood on the outside of Pogba's foot. Again, it's just left him on the floor a little bit. He's back up on his feet now, hobbling away, but it'll be okay.
13 minutes to go to half-time here on TalkSport, with Manchester United leading, courtesy of Jadon Sancho. And Cristiano Ronaldo missing the penalty, putting it wide at 0-0. Here's Dale Fry. Fry going back to his goalkeeper, Lumley. Borough coming into this on the back of some really good form. 6 wins in their last 7 games in all competitions. A few last-minute winners in the mix in that as well, including one at Mansfield in round 3 of this competition, where they were really made to battle hard, as were Manchester United. Villa in many ways the better sides for long swathes of the second half of Manchester United's cup win here. Here's Balogun, played out towards the right hand side for Jones. Borough getting bodies forward this time. Sporar couldn't get there. It broke back for Jones, but he couldn't direct the cross as he wanted, and United can bring it away, and bring it away well. Jones out of position. Fernandes has found Ronaldo, and his shot is well saved by Lumley. Sancho then trying to pick it up, loses out to Howson, who's in the Leeds United side that famously won here back in 2010 when they were in the 3rd tier. Dyche now can bring it forward, and now Middlesbrough will be able to make the most of some room ahead of them. Howson's done well. He's found Balogun onto his right foot. And his curving effort certainly didn't lack for power, but it did direction. And it's curved over the top right-hand corner.
Yeah, good passage of play actually there. So again, brilliant run and pass from Bruno Fernandes to Cristiano Ronaldo, who in that inside left position, I would say from 14, 15 yards out on his left foot again, hits it hard straight at Joe Lumley, who makes the save, and then within seconds the ball is transferred up the other again. Balogun is running at Rafa Varane on the edge of the United box and just can't wrap his foot round it enough. But Bruno Fernandes has played very well in this opening, where are we, 33, coming up 34 minutes. He's been very sharp, Jim. I think he's orchestrated things in that little position in front of McTominay. McTominay's been that deep and one that definite sitting midfield player. Pogba and Bruno Fernandes have had licence to roam. Sanchez offering the width on the left, Rashford on the right with Ronaldo up the middle, and the shape has looked good.
Half-time at St Andrews is 0-0 between Birmingham and Sheffield United. This one, Manchester United leading by a goal to nil. And Dalot can bring him forward and find Marcus Rashford. Rashford with an opportunity to run at Taylor. Just plays it in towards Ronaldo. Knocked away though by the familiar figure of Paddy McNair. He's down on one knee as he made the challenge. Before the game, Andy, you were talking to Hugh about the need for Manchester United to get the result first and foremost, but the need for the performance wasn't too far behind, and they've had that. They've had that.
Well, they've had, good energy, good intent. They could have been 2 up. They've had other opportunities. So I think, there's been a real positive start to the game from United. You mentioned those stats, Jim, about too often United have gone behind in matches or haven't been able to break the deadlock in the first half. Well, tonight they've had a real appetite to get into Middlesbrough, to get at them, to try and get behind them. I like to see that. There's nothing wrong with that. There's more than one way to go about it to try and unlock a door, and it's not always got to be perfect. It's not always got to be 10-yard passes into feet, 1-2s. Sometimes you can go from back to front. The best teams mix it up, and I think United have done that nicely this evening.
You're listening to live coverage of the FA Cup on Talk Sport, thanks to Neutrogena T-Gel Therapeutic Shampoo. Clearance from Lumley on the edge of his own penalty area, the former Queen's Park Rangers man. Howson then turns it forward. Sporer is Borough's leading scorer this season with 7. Chases after it. Maguire heads it away from him. And he goes out of play for a throw. Isaiah Jones will take. Jones, who's had a sensational rise from non-league football in his native London, where he's playing for Tooting and Mitcham. And now is the Championship Player of the Month for December. There's still less than 50 senior games to his credit. What a rise he's had. Playing at Old Trafford this evening. Ball played forward by Dijksteel. Sporer has done well to hold it up right hand side of the area. Hooks it in towards the near post. It was chased by Crooks. Varane was there to knock it away for Manchester United. Ball clear towards halfway where Fry heads it. The other number 6, a very different type of number 6 to Dale Fry. Paul Pogba gets it clear again, and then a loose ball from the Manchester United midfield. Sees Rashford fail to find Bruno Fernandes. Out of play for a throw that Borough will take on the right-hand side. 8.5 to go to the break, and Manchester United lead at 1-0.
Yeah, it's been a good watch. It has. It's certainly been a test for Middlesbrough because, as we mentioned, with Pogba, with Bruno Fernandes, Rashford, Sancho, Ronaldo, they've got players United out there tonight that are at their best in 30, 40 yards from the opponent's goal. That's when those guys really come alive. So I've quite enjoyed the United performance. I think they look good. For Middlesbrough, they've been very competitive just to a point. They just look like they lack that little bit extra at the top of the field so far. They've got themselves into 1 or 2 really nice situations. They're working their socks off, but they need a bit more composure at the top of the field to try and get back in the game.
Here's Marcus Rashford now for Manchester United, who drills it in straight at McNair. Tavernier can bring it away. Played forward by him down towards Balogun. Balogun trying to find Taylor. Couldn't find him, and Scott McTominay will take up the cudgels here for Manchester United. Oh, it's a clever ball in towards Sancho, who wins a corner from Howson. It was brilliant play from McTominay. He's played down the inside right channel. He had to get there, stretch to get there, then turned away, and in doing so played a delicious little reverse ball in, and no look pass for Sancho's run. Howson read the cross, and it's out of play for a corner that Luke Shaw will take.
It was a good run. First time really Scott McTominay has burst beyond the forward line. He won't do it often because he knows he's there to hold the fort and to be the one who sits in that pivot position to initiate United's attacks and prompt from that deeper position. But they force the corner,
which Shaw will take. Sancho offering himself for the short one. And he's going to be sure to ping it in. It's a curling ball in towards Maguire, just headed away from him by Fry. Just got there in time. The Middlesbrough centre half put out of play for a throw which will be taken over on the United left-hand side. In terms of the stats, possession 70-30, 10 attempts to 1 in Manchester United's favour. Borough with just the one attempt, which was an off-target long-range effort from Balogun. It has been Manchester United who've been dominant. Here's Dalot finding Sancho, bottom right-hand corner of the penalty area. Flicked by him down towards Pogba. Pogba trying to turn away from Tavernier, and he drives it in. It hits McNair and goes out of play for another corner on the Manchester United right. 1-0 they lead with 6 to go to half-time.
Yeah, I think Pogba has grown into the game. First 10-15 minutes a little quiet, but I think again he's picked the pace up. Obviously it's difficult, you've been out for 3 months. It's not always easy to get right back up to speed, and it's amazing how much work you do on the training ground, and then you come out and play your first game after 3 months off, and it's an altogether different proposition.
Shaw with an intelligent corner. Bruno Fernandes with a little step over and coming to meet it. Rashford's fired it over the bar. VAR deflection though, hit Dijksteel. And it's another corner. It was a really well worked set piece there.
It was actually. Luke Shaw's whipped everything in pretty hard and fast up to now. That one, he just rolls it right to the edge of the 18-yard line. Clever little dummy from Bruno Fernandes where Marcus Rashford is waiting on the edge of the box, and his shot is deflected back out for another corner off the same side.
Sancho takes this one short, gets the return ball from Shaw. Sancho trying to work the angles back for Rashford again. That time he did shoot from an identical position on target, but Lumley could make a solid save at the second attempt, and it remains 1-0.
Yeah, lovely work that from Jadon Sancho. That's better, much more sharper and positive about his work, and takes a short corner with Luke Shaw, dances into the 18-yard line, rolls it on the edge of the box for Rashford. Lovely first-time strike. It's just unfortunate it's straight at Joe Lumley, but in a nice urgency. As I mentioned the word appetite earlier, it's been good to see from United. You would have expected it after a break and a breather and a chance to reset and regroup and assess exactly where they are and what they're doing, but they've come out this evening and played with exactly the right attitude. FA Cup football, it's renowned for you set up with the wrong attitude against a so-called inferior opponent, and you can get beat anywhere. But United tonight haven't let that happen so far. They've been pretty dominant up to now.
It's not in the nature of this Middlesbrough team to be able to have accusations of their attitude levelled against them. Their attitude's been fine, but they just can't get a foothold in it, and they're really hanging in there desperately at the moment.
They are. They've had 1 or 2 moments where they've got in behind United, haven't been able to provide a cross or find a player in the right area.
Now Pogba has just won it back. Now he fouled Tavernier. Now he's going to get a yellow card. It looked as though it was going to be Pogba's to win it a 50-50. Didn't win it. Tavernier was in there just a little bit more quickly in the midfield after Pogba's first touch had let him down. Then Tavernier with an opportunity to sprint towards the edge of the area. Pogba stuck out a foot, and as soon as he mistimed the challenge, it was always going to be a yellow card against him.
That's, I don't like Pogba when he's that responsible deep central midfield player as he was in that moment. McTominay was in front of him. The ball was laid in from Harry Maguire to him on the halfway line. He tries a little clever flick, it doesn't come off, and he ends up having to concede a free kick and gets a yellow card to deny Middlesbrough the chance to counter. But that's where he's a little bit irresponsible, I think, at times with the ball.
5th yellow card of the season for Paul Pogba to go along with the red card that Anthony Taylor, tonight's referee, showed him against Liverpool. Here's Howson, urged to shoot from the 9,000 travelling Middlesbrough supporters away to our right, thought better of it. The ball goes out via Jones to the right flank and McNair, and then goes out of play off a United man for a throw to Middlesbrough level the edge of the Manchester United penalty area. 2.5 to go to half-time. Manchester United 1, Middlesbrough 0 here on Talk Sport. Middlesbrough's throw very quickly becomes a Manchester United throw. Quick flurry of action over on the far touchline, then it'll be a throw that Shaw will take, only about 7 or 8 yards from his own corner flag. United not got a great record in the grand scheme of things in the FA Cup over the recent years. They've won it 12 times, but only won it once in the last 18 years. But invariably, they can get through to the quarterfinals. They're looking to make it through to the quarters for an 8th successive season with a victory tonight, and a kind draw in round 5 in the first couple of days of March. They're through to the quarters again. And their record here at Old Trafford in the FA Cup is something else. They've won their last 10 FA Cup ties here, and they've kept clean sheets in 9 of them. Conceded a couple to Liverpool last season in a thrilling Manchester United victory, but Mo Salah's the only player to have scored in the FA Cup here against Manchester United since Dimitri Payet in 2016. Middlesbrough need to rectify that statistic tonight. They've got 90 seconds of the first half and the second half to come, but from an attacking context things can only improve for them. They trail by a goal to nil.
Yep, and look, whenever you're 1 down in a game, you don't have to be playing that great, you don't have to do anything that exceptional, and you can very quickly find yourself back on level terms. Just a set play or a momentary bit of class from one of the players, and you can very easily get yourself back in a game. So 1 down isn't the end of the world for them. It could have been a lot worse had Ronaldo's penalty have gone in. Then it feels like it's a long way back.
Foul on Rashford. Referee's played a good advantage. Ball is worked forward. Sancho with a little header. Ronaldo cushions the ball back to him. He's near the bottom left-hand corner of the penalty area as he lays it back for McTominay. Back out to Jadon Sancho again on the Manchester United left. Sancho hit the bar inside the opening 90 seconds and then found the net on 25. Ronaldo trying to spin the ball down the left-hand side of the area for Bruno Fernandes. Manchester United lose possession. Howson can get it back to his goalkeeper. And now Fry will take a couple of touches and he will bring it forward. Fourth official Martin Atkinson has the numbers board in his hand and is just about to indicate how many extra minutes will be added. Almost certainly 1, I would think it is indeed. Just the 1. United leading, courtesy of that Sancho goal on a night where Ronaldo's missed the penalty. Shaw taking a throw for Manchester United over on the far touchline. Throws it in field. It's brought down by Sancho. Sancho to Ronaldo. Won back by Tavernier. He's got to go back to his goalkeeper and had to do so pretty briskly with players closing him down, but Lumley was able to get it away. Pogba comes to meet it in the midfield. Wins it back from Tavernier at the second attempt. Threads it down the right-hand side of the box for Ronaldo. Dalot's made a run in towards the penalty spot. It's chipped in for Bruno Fernandes, but his header goes straight into the midriff of Joe Lumley.
Unlucky. Good work that from Paul Pogba. Won the ball back for United, then just slipped it in between full-back and central defender for Ronaldo, then picks out Bruno Fernandes on the penalty spot with a clever ball with the outside of his boot, but it's on his head and he's got a lot to do. He had to kind of wait for it and try and generate all the power. But I've enjoyed that, Jim. Good first 45 minutes.
Which has been brought to an end by Anthony Taylor. Plenty of drama. Almost all of it away to our right-hand side. Sancho hitting the bar in the early stages. Cristiano Ronaldo, who scored the winner the last time these two sides met in the FA Cup back in 2007. They're missing a penalty, putting it wide of Joe Lumley's left-hand post after a foul by Dijksteel on Pogba. But 5 minutes later, Manchester United had their noses in front through Jadon Sancho, and their half-time lead is richly deserved. It's Manchester United 1, Middlesbrough 0. Hugh, thank you. No changes for the second half, so Manchester United lining up Henderson, Dalot, Varane, Maguire and Shaw, McTominay, Pogba, Bruno Fernandes, and then Sancho, Ronaldo and Rashford, the front three. Middlesbrough, Lumley in goal, back 5 of Jones, Dijksteel, Fry, McNair and Taylor, Crooks, Howson and Tavernier, and Balogun and Sporar up front. We're underway for the second half. Manchester United kicking from right to left towards the Stretford end in their red shirts, white shorts and socks, and Middlesbrough in their change kit of all dark green with the red trim. It's Dijksteel, the centre half, who steals 5 or 6 yards down the touchline before arching his back and throwing it forward. It's brought down by McTominay, who's been fouled by Crooks. And the Scotsman in the blue boots gets back to his feet. It's a free kick which will be taken quickly by Manchester United. Shaw working it forward, trying to get Bruno Fernandes in behind Dale Fry. The Fry can clear towards halfway. Good header from McTominay. Just drifts out of play away from Shaw. And now for a throw that will be taken on the Middlesbrough right-hand side. Trailing by a goal to nil. Chris Wilder and Alan Neal, so much experience between them. We'll be hoping for a little bit more of a proactive Borough in this second half. It's a good ball played in across the edge of the 6-yard box from Jones. Everybody a little bit slow to react, players from both sides, but United got it away before he found Balogun. Now they'll play forward at the other end, and Lumley sprints outside his penalty area and just gets on the Fernandes pass before he got to Ronaldo. But the game already, at the beginning of the second half, increasingly stretched.
Yeah, it really was. Great run from Isaiah Jones down the right side, rolled the ball across the 6-yard box. No green shirt, desperate to get on the end of it. Go and grab yourself a goal, take a chance. They're all on their heels a little bit, Balogun and Sporar, and then within seconds Bruno Fernandes is bearing down on the Borough 18-yard box. A ball to Ronaldo, and Joe Lumley has to come flying out to hoof the ball away and knocks it 40-50 yards up the field. But again, fast start to the game. That's what we enjoyed in the first period, and it looks like both teams are all set to just try and have a go.
Harry Maguire in possession, playing it out to the Manchester United right for Diogo Dalot, who can play it forward into the feet of Rashford. He made the run for the return pass, which wasn't quite forthcoming, but United have kept it alive. McTominay then back for Luke Shaw, a yard in from the left-hand touchline. He's played it back inside his own half for Maguire. And this one, just over 40 minutes left. Same scoreline, Manchester United 1, Middlesbrough 0. Appeals for handball against Dalot. It was just miscontrol rather than anything else. And Manchester United are able to bring it forward with Shaw. Nice touch from Crooks, the former Accrington man in the midfield for the Borough. Losing out though to Sancho. And Sancho plays it away from Pogba and out towards Dalot, down the right-hand touchline for Marcus Rashford. Little shove from Rashford. And McNair wins the free kick, which Borough will take on the left-hand side of their own penalty area.
Yeah, unnecessary there for Marcus Rashford to concede a cheap free kick. Relieves all the pressure. The ball from Dalot wasn't good enough to Rashford, so he's ended up chasing after Dale Fry, and with the Middlesbrough man running back to his own byline with nowhere to go. I beg your pardon, it was Paddy McNair. Rashford just nudges him in the back, hits the floor, free kick, and all the pressure is relieved.
Much more live football coming your way on the TalkSport network tomorrow, with Kidderminster against West Ham at 12:30 on TalkSport. Chelsea against Plymouth at 12:30 on TalkSport 2. We'll also bring in Everton against Brentford, Spurs Brighton from the FA Cup tomorrow. Both of those on TalkSport 2. Burnley Watford in the Premier League is here on TalkSport. That kicks off at 6. A game with huge implications as Roy Hodgson takes charge of the Hornets for the first time. And then Swansea against Blackburn is live on TalkSport 2 and exclusive to TalkSport 2 at 5:30 tomorrow. More live action coming your way Sunday as well. Liverpool Cardiff and Forest Leicester. Double bill of FA Cup action for you on TalkSport. Plus Chelsea against Manchester City in the WSL is a 12:30 kickoff on TalkSport 2. Manchester United leading this one 1-0. Diogo Dalot down towards the corner flag, plays it back and towards Ronaldo. Rashford comes to join the the back pass which just about found the goalkeeper. It was Crooks who's quick to acknowledge the lack of quality of it. He underhit it back to Lumley with Ronaldo lurking. Lumley did really well for his midfielder in just getting there in time. Knew that he was going to get hurt because a collision between him and Ronaldo was inevitable. Lumley down for a moment in need of treatment, but it could easily have been 2-0.
Could have been, yeah. Matt Crooks knocked that one back to his goalkeeper blind. He wasn't quite aware of where Cristiano Ronaldo was lurking just in behind him, and Ronaldo takes a chance. He's never quite getting there before Joe Lumley, and in the end concedes a free kick. He just catches the Borough goalkeeper, but Crooks a little fortunate there. He's got to have a little bit more awareness. When you often see that players have time on the edge of the box and they go backwards towards the goalkeeper. Don't need to. He wasn't surrounded by red shirts. He had plenty of time, but he just sort of panicked a bit, knocked it back to the goalkeeper, and it was very nearly cut out.
1-0 to Manchester United here at Old Trafford. 52 on the clock. You're listening to live coverage of the FA Cup on TalkSport thanks to Neutrogena T-Gel Therapeutic Shampoo. Here's Crooks. Tomley trying to win it back in the midfield. Maguire stepping up from the defensive line there ahead of Sporar. Pogba is 20 yards inside the Middlesbrough half. Ball worked out towards the right, fired inside the penalty area and cleared on the half volley by Fry. Varane playing it forward. Tavernier battling, does well to win it back, and then Crooks can play it forward out to the Borough left. Balogun chipping it over the top. Sporar got himself isolated against Luke Shaw, but the offside flag was up. Manchester United still in possession, allowed the advantage and quickly had it back in Middlesbrough territory. Rashford, faced up by both McNair and Taylor, lays it back for Bruno Fernandes. Little 1-2 out towards the touchline again. Rashford, who's not too far short of 300 Manchester United appearances now, sending a crossfield ball through the midfield and now out towards Shaw. Maguire through the centre circle to Dallow, just slight stumble on the ball, but there was no Middlesbrough player anywhere near him. And they're doing their best, the three in midfield in this 5-3-2 Borough formation, just to try and engage, but possession's very easily for Manchester United at the moment, and I think Chris Wilder and Alan Neil will be contemplating what they need to do to shake things up. Borough needs something. Yeah, I think they'll be contemplating a change up top. As Shaw plays it in towards Sancho, left-hand side of the area, fires it in, and Rashford has missed a glorious opportunity to make it two, and he came onto it, hit it on the half volley about 8 yards out, but has missed the target. Great play again down the United left, and Rashford will be wondering how he has a score. Again, those wing-backs are really high, and United turn the ball over. Jadon Sancho, really good positive run from him, and he finds Rashford, who should score. Now Middlesbrough work it forward down the other end with Balogun, and almost found Tavernier. United just able to cut that out. Still Middlesbrough unable to really create too many clear-cut opportunities. They work it for the other end, Manchester United. Rashford waiting for options to arrive. Ronaldo arrives, and he's at the side netting. Fans on this side of the ground thought it was in. They saw the net billowing, but he's put it wide at the near post. And somehow it remains 1-0. It's really good work. The game is so end-to-end at the moment. It really is. Chance seconds ago, nearly fell to Sporar, and then again seconds later, Rashford in behind that Middlesbrough back line, cuts it back to Ronaldo, who really rattles his shot, hits it nice and sweet first time. And from this angle where we're sitting from our position, Jim, I thought it was in the back of the net, but it hit the side netting and stays out. Still 1-0. Borough do have attacking options on the bench. They've got Aaron Connolly, they've got Duncan Watmore, a different type of forward there. Here's Jones. Sporar did well to get himself back onside. Fires inside the penalty area, but not with the quality to find Balogun. And United can bring it away easily with Pogba. Now Sancho receiving the ball. He's got room to turn and room to run into as well. And he's threaded it down towards Ronaldo, who goes wide of Lumley. And then he tried to keep it in. He's back-heeled it into his trailing leg. And he goes into the hoardings and out of play for a goal kick. Kind of been that kind of night so far for Ronaldo. Again, playing on that, right on the edge of the 18-yard box, on that line, a clever little through ball once more from Jadon Sancho. His performance has been much better this evening. Sancho, he's been hugging the width, but drifting infield, picking up some nice positions, and clever little pass into Ronaldo, skips it past the goalkeeper, but can't stop it from going out for a goal kick. But again, take your eyes off this one for a split second, Jim. I just think for Middlesbrough they need to make a change up front. Not getting enough out of Sporar or Balogun. One of those two, for me, has got to make way for something else. They need a different dynamic up the field, I think, to possibly try and get back in this before United eventually find a second. Middlesbrough have it here with Tavernier. And he's played it down the right-hand side of the penalty area. Jones chasing after, he's pulled it back, and it's a fine save from Henderson to tip it away. Really well struck by Crooks. That's Middlesbrough's best move of the game. And Henderson threw himself to his left and got a strong left hand to it to tip it away for a corner. Really good football that from Borough. Really good football. Played their way through the midfield. Eventually found Isaiah Jones again, who's so energetic, so generous with his running forward. He cuts it back from Matt Crooks, a kind of clever side foot. And Dean Henderson it is who gets his right hand up to tip it over the bar for a corner. As you mentioned, Jim, that's really good football from Middlesbrough, the best passage of play that they've had in the game. The ball going out of play for a corner. Tavernier, who's standing over the corner quadrant, not happy with the pressure of the match ball, has asked for it to be replaced. So this is Middlesbrough's first corner of the game. Tavernier to swing it in. It's an old adage, but all the time that it is only 1-0. The side that are trailing are just one moment of magic or one defensive error away from getting themselves back into the game. Borough hoping it will come from here. Fry making a run towards the far post. Tavernier swings it in towards the near. Bruno Fernandes heads it away. Jones got a little bit lucky as he lost his balance. He comes back off Sancho to him. It's Balogun across the face of the 6-yard box, ricochets off Shaw and sits up nicely for his goalkeeper to catch. And he very quickly bowls it out for Bruno Fernandes, who gets it between Jones and Balogun to find Scott McTominay. And Manchester United are on the front foot again. They lead by 1-0. It's been an enthralling FA Cup tie. A lot of it's been one-way traffic. But Middlesbrough beginning, through necessity, to give it a bit of a go now, and it's opened right up.
And it doesn't matter, Jim, how superior you are in all the stats, all the numbers. Shots on target, last third entries, possession, you name it. United are on top in all of that. But Borough have just started to worry United a couple of times in the last 5 minutes. Just by taking that extra touch, that extra little bit of care in possession. They've got people in the wide areas with good pace. And a couple of times they've worried them.
Here's McTominay. As Middlesbrough do take a slightly more proactive view of this game. The sacrifice is the space that they are now leaving in midfield. Manchester United, when they can get the ball, are often in a position that they can turn and then run at the Middlesbrough back line, but they haven't made the most of this latest opportunity to do that, and it drifts out of play for a goal kick that Borough will take. Half an hour of normal time remaining. Manchester United leading Middlesbrough by 1-0 here on TalkSport. And here, the views of former Middlesbrough Cup finalist Andy Townsend.
Yeah, again, I think that United are just looking for that second goal. They've been close. They've created 2 or 3 situations. Marcus Rashford, Ronaldo, Sancho, they've all been there or thereabouts in this second period as they travel from right to left towards the Stretford end. But all the time it remains 1. Middlesbrough are plucky, they're honest, they're game, they're giving everything towards it. All the time it's 1, you just never know. Ralph Rangnick still down on the touchline, urging his players forward. Chris Wilder has stayed out in the technical area pretty much the entire game, hands in his pockets, looking like he fancies his team might still have something to say in this game.
Manchester United have a free kick as Shaw was just pushed under the flight of an aerial pass. And Maguire has taken it. Finds Varane. United's record here at Old Trafford is excellent, as I was saying in the first half. When you factor in matches just against sides from lower divisions, it's brilliant. 8 wins in a row without conceding. Shaw playing the ball in here. And Ronaldo coming to meet it, along with Bruno Fernandes. They both attacked the same ball. Neither did each other a favour there. It's come off Ronaldo and gone out of play for a goal kick that will be taken by Lumley. And here is the first change, and it is the one that you're expecting. Balogun coming off, and Duncan Watmore's a little bit different. He can play as a striker, but he can play as a 10. Big roar of approval greeted the arrival of Duncan Watmore, who is almost played in straight away by Middlesbrough. Work it forward. And it's flicked on by Sporer. Watmore chasing after it. Varane was there first, and it goes out of play for a throw.
And you're right, Jim. What Duncan Watmore will give the team is tons of energy, and he runs beyond the strikers. Just kind of stretch United a little bit. He's gone off the left side. Sporer kind of up the middle. But now they've got another option, maybe with just a little bit more energy and something a little more direct down the middle of the field. I think that's a good ploy.
Here's McNair. High ball forward. Crooks going up for it against the shorter Shaw. Jones there. Crooks laying it back. Couldn't find Tavernier. Pogba did well. Good defensive responsibility from the Frenchman there to read the situation on the edge of his own penalty area and get it away. 62 gone. It's 1-0 to Manchester United. This will not end 1-0. Here's Varane, and he turns it back to his goalkeeper. Henderson has made one really good stop from Crooks. Plays it out towards Shaw, and Shaw, a yard in from the left-hand touchline, brings it within 10 yards of halfway, and plays it back for Harry Maguire. You would talk sport and Sirius XM FC across the United States. And Manchester United looking for a 13th FA Cup, but more significantly, a chance to end the 5-season drought without a trophy, or prevent it getting to 5 seasons. It was the 2017 Europa League, the last trophy that they won. need to keep going. Middlesbrough hoping to keep going in this one. Still confident getting themselves back into it. Here's Rashford towards the edge of the penalty area. A low shot that has come back off McNair. Finds Howson. Howson out to the left-hand side for the Welsh defender Neil Taylor, who can play it forward. And then an excellent switch of play through the midfield from Crooks, who's getting better as the game goes on. Jones never needing a second invitation to run at the far side. He's put it in for Watmore, has flicked it over the goalkeeper. Crooks slides it in. Now, was there a hand on its way through from Watmore? The VAR will be having a look at it, but the Middlesbrough players celebrate for now. Will the goal be allowed to stand? It was fired inside the penalty area. It was inadvertent control from the hand of Watmore. Had it been Crooks that had handled it, it would be chalked off. I think this may well stand, and Middlesbrough are back on level terms.
I'm not sure it should. I don't think this goal actually should stand. You're right, Jim. It was a poor touch from Duncan Watmore, and it then popped up onto his hand. They had a man over. They committed men forward. Great clip from Isaiah Jones to Watmore. First touch was poor. It then hit his hand. He then rolls it to Matt Crooks, and I beg your pardon, he then chips it over Henderson, and Matt Crooks, who applies the finishing touch. Blatant handball, and it's Bryn Gibbon. You're right, Jim.
Well, the law was changed last summer, and that is the difference. It is an inadvertent handball, but they changed it that if the goal scorer does it, it's going to get chalked off. But if it's a player leading up to it that does it, and it is accidental, which it seemed to be, then it doesn't get chalked off. And whether you like the law or not, I think it has been interpreted correctly, and the goal stands. It's 1-1.
And I've got to be honest, I don't like that law. I don't see how anybody who completely miscontrols a ball and it hits his hand and he then lobs it over the goalkeeper and his teammate knocks it in the net. There's something that can't be right about that. Yes, you're right, the interpretation of the law is correct, and that's all the officials out there this evening can do. Once VAR look at that, did Duncan Watmore deliberately try and control that with his hand? He most certainly didn't. But it was such poor control that he then benefits from poor play, if you like. And look, whichever way you want to dress it up, I don't think that goal should stand, but it has. And we've got a proper cup tie in our hands now.
And it is the first goal that Manchester United have conceded at home to lower division opposition in the FA Cup in 9 ties. Middlesbrough back on level terms. It is the travelling Teessiders, 9,000 strong, away to our right-hand side, who are making the noise. And there's a lot of consternation in the press box amongst the Manchester United supporters as well, because the handball was clear. You could see that it definitely sat up and hit his arm. He was trying to move his arm out of the way. There's no doubt the ball hit his arm, but I do believe the interpretation of the law as it stands was correct. And now Maguire backpedaling, Jones chasing, and Maguire under pressure down his own dead ball line. Jones has fouled him. Maguire felt the contact, made sure the assistant referee realised there'd been contact, and it's a free kick to Manchester United in the left back position. This is a different cup tie now. We're midway through the second half of normal time, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, it certainly is a different cup tie, and it's amazing. Honestly, it's, as I mentioned earlier, all the stats, all the numbers were pointing towards United eventually finding a second goal. But in a flash, in a split second, Middlesbrough are back in the tie. Controversially, it's got to be said. But you know what? In that move that led up to the goal, they had a man over. They had more men in that box than what United had defenders.
Here's Jadon Sancho for Manchester United, finding Ronaldo, who missed the first half penalty. Back for Shaw on the bottom left-hand corner of the penalty area for Manchester United. To Ronaldo, to Sancho. Sancho getting towards the bar as he overrun it. He has got it in past Jones, but it's cleared at the near post by Fry. Only out as far as McTominay on the Manchester United left. Maguire does well. Good control from him. Lovely turn from Ronaldo to get the better of the goal scorer Crooks. He's almost threaded it in towards McTominay. Middlesbrough stand firm thanks to Dijksdale and then Fry, who whacks it clear, and Varane on the end of it will be able to head it forward before Crooks and Bruno Fernandes go for the same ball, and it comes off the Middlesbrough man for a throw. It's 1-1, midway through the second half on TalkSport. And a reminder, it will be played to a conclusion, so extra time and penalties on the agenda if necessary at Old Trafford tonight in a cup thriller.
What's making it so enjoyable, it's got that chaotic feel to the game. It's flying from one end to the other. And that makes for a really good watch, a really interesting watch. Now it's a test of United's nerve. Of course, the pressure very much on the team now at home. They're expected to win this game. It looked like they were going to win it handsomely. Now they've got a job on their hands.
Graham heading the ball down for Scott McTominay. He tries to take it away from Tavernier, who's done well. Ball clipped in by Dallo, but too long for Ronaldo. And it goes out of play for a goal kick that'll be taken by Joe Lumley away to our left-hand side. Manchester United won, Middlesbrough won. 20 years ago, Borough knocked United out at this stage of the FA Cup with goals from Noel Whelan and Andy Campbell. They also beat Manchester United in the FA Cup in the 30s and the early 70s as well. Actually first drawn together back in the 19th century when it was still Newton Heath. First ever meeting of these two sides coming back in 1894. But of all the cup meetings that have been between the two, this one's probably been as exciting as most. And still, the principal moment of the night lies ahead of us. Might it come here? Watmore into a Spora, who tried to turn it towards goal. Harry Maguire sliding in, prevented it getting anywhere near Henderson's near post. And it's cleared by Manchester United out of play for a Middlesbrough throw.
You know, and they've got a threat now, Borough. They really have. Their tails are up. They're back in the game. It's filled their legs with energy, filled them with belief. Watmore coming on, he's just direct. He's one of those guys that just keeps putting his head down and running in behind you. And all of a sudden now, United have got a different problem.
Shaw heads it forward. Sancho for McTominay. Back for Shaw again. How do Manchester United now counter the change that Middlesbrough have made?
Well, yeah, look, again, you would think, Jim, that they've got to keep playing their football. They need to play with a bit more urgency. Pogba striding across the halfway line here.
And wins the free kick, which will result in a yellow card for Tavernier.
But during this spell where Borough have been really good, last 10 minutes they've been very good, excellent. We haven't seen enough of Bruno Fernandes. Ronaldo on the edges of it a little bit frustrated tonight. He's cut a bit of a frustrated figure, Ronaldo. Ever since missing that penalty, not quite happened for him. I think United need to get the ball back out towards Jadon Sancho a little bit. When he's got on the ball, he's made things happen. Rashford's gone a little bit quiet, so those big players have now got to step up.
Pogba turning it forward. Here is Marcus Rashford inside the area. Ronaldo's waiting. Good save, Lumley at the near post. Fry won the second ball, heads it away, was fouled. There's a free kick to Middlesbrough inside their penalty area. So this is the United bench, Andy. In terms of attacking options, Elanga and Mejbri, the Tunisian international, they're the principal ones really. How do they shuffle things around? Do they keep the personnel that they've got and try and play a different way? Or
no, I think the best way forward for United, Jim, is to keep the personnel that they've got, but they've just got to get back on the ball. They've got to get possession. They've got to go after Middlesbrough, play brave, be aggressive with their pressing like they are right now.
And they've won it back. Bruno Fernandes! Oh, he's hit the post! And Middlesbrough have another almighty let-off. And that was the pressing play of Ralph Rangnick down to a tee. They forced the error out of Lumley, put under pressure from Ronaldo. He passed it outside the penalty area. Bruno Fernandes read it. He had the whole goal to aim at. Lumley standing there could only pray, and his prayers were very quickly answered. Here's Ronaldo now, played in by Rashford. He's clipped it back across, but behind Sancho. And Jones will knock it away. And if you're a Middlesbrough fan, as Watmore is fouled there by Maguire, and there's an angry reaction from the Manchester United man, if you're a Middlesbrough fan watching this with the 72 minutes unfolding as they have, you wouldn't be able to help yourself but to turn to the bloke sat next to you or the lady said, you know what, this could be our night.
Well, you know, again, we've just seen, that was just incredible what happened. Joe Lumley's got the ball. They're trying to play out from the back. He plays a straight ball into Johnny Housen on the edge of the 18-yard box with Bruno Fernandes breathing fire down his neck. Do not roll the ball into a midfield player in that situation, goalkeeper. Don't you dare do that, because Fernandez managed to just tow it away from Housen. He's got an open goal and he hits the post. Massive let-off.
United have hit the bar, they've hit the post, they've missed the penalty, and their lead has evaporated. Sancho on 25, Crooks on 64. After a handball in the build-up, an accidental one by Watmore, which the officials, I believe, rightly let go. And it's 1-1 with 17 minutes of normal time remaining.
Just talking about that handball, Jim. If a defender hits it against Watmore and it hits his hand, drops in front of him, he then knocks it to Crooks and it ends up in the back of the net. I totally get that. When a player miscontrols it poorly, hits his own hand and then drops to his benefit, to his advantage, something don't feel right about that. Doesn't feel right to me at all, and I appreciate the interpretation of the law, but there's not one person in this ground that would have had any complaints had that goal not have stood. Honestly, Chris Wilder as well, not one. And that again is one of those conundrums, grey area, call it what you like, which I just don't quite get.
Here's Rashford, come back to that in a moment as he tries to make his way forward towards the edge of the D, but Dijksteel was able to knock it away, and then Maguire is in strongly on Sporer, but the referee has given a free kick for the earlier foul by Pogba on Dijksteel in the midfield. Now the law was changed back in March last year, handball law changed by IFAB, who said that accidental handball will no longer be considered an offence. It was the same, you'll remember, that the implementation of that for the Euros. What happened in this instance, the accidental handball would still be an offence if the goal scorer had handled it. Right, so if Crooks had touched it with his hand and scored, it gets chalked off.
So if Watmore handles it and then knocks it in the back of the net himself, then it's chalked off.
Yep.
Right, but wow, even so, that handball is so key in the goal. It really is. But I get what you're saying. That's the law, and you're right. There was the alteration to it, and I think there needed to be an alteration. We'll see if there's going to be another one, because incidents like this one will be talked about long into the night on the way home for not only all the United fans and the Borough fans, but everybody else tonight will be looking at that and saying, how did that goal stand?
Yeah, the risk of labour in the point. Anthony Taylor, the referee, clearly can only implement the laws as they are written, and I believe has done so correctly, but I think that the law that allows that goal to stand is wrongly written. Here's Ronaldo now inside the penalty area, trying to twist and turn and get a shot in. He's gone down. No appeals from him for a penalty. Shaw's done well to win it back. Finds Sancho. Pogba rolling it inside the penalty. It's laid off for Fernandez, and he's dragged it wide from 25 yards out. We've got 14 minutes to go. You're listening to live coverage of the FA Cup on TalkSport thanks to Neutrogena T-Gel Therapeutic Shampoo. It's Manchester United 1, Middlesbrough 1.
Yeah, shot from Bruno Fernandes on the edge of the box. Some good set-up play from Pogba. But unfortunately for Bruno Fernandes, the ball kind of stuck between his feet, needed to shift it a little bit. But what a second half we've had, end-to-end, pretty much from the get-go. And I said at the start of the night that Chris Wilder's Middlesbrough team, they would not sit back and wait for something to happen. They'd try and take the game to United. First half, outplayed, outmanoeuvred, lucky maybe to go in just one down. But at one, you are never out of a game of football, ever. And that's shown again tonight.
Now Crooks able to bring the ball forward here towards the edge of the Manchester United penalty area. He's passed it out towards Jones, a little bit wider than he wanted it, but he's still got it. He's pulled it back for Dijksteel. Dijksteel towards the edge of the box, has gone back behind square for Housen. He's gone sideways to his left for Tavernier. Now McNair pushing forward from centre half in the Middlesbrough way. Foul then by Pogba, and it's a free kick which will be taken by Middlesbrough over on the left-hand side. They're going to make another change, and it's Martin Parejo who's going to come on for his FA Cup debut, the Argentinian playmaking midfielder who scored at Cardiff, and he'll come on for the Borough goal scorer Crooks. And Hugh Woozencroft has reminded me of one incident from the Premier League last season. Sheffield United played against West Ham. Chris Wilder was the manager. West Ham equalised in the last minute of that game. Declan Rice handled the ball in the build-up to the goal. Robert Snodgrass scored from his pass, and it was disallowed because at that stage, with the interpretation of the laws,
any sort of interference with a hand in the build-up to a goal gets chalked off. No, I get it. Look, I get it. I absolutely, and you're right. You know, Anthony Taylor and the VAR guys will have looked at that and interpreted the law as it stands correctly in their opinion. In mine, that sort of goal should always be chalked off.
Tavernier sending this free kick in. Dallow got there ahead of Dale Fry to knock it away, and Pogba will be able to bring it forward. It is academic. It'll be very interesting to hear the reaction of the two managers about it. 11 minutes to go. It's 1-1, and Howson will play the ball forward here for the Borough. Played out of the left for Watmore. Piero, tall Argentinian, just lurking with intent around the edge of the penalty area, but Borough can't work it back to him. There are three red shirts around the ball. Taylor losing out to a combination of Sancho and Dallow, and it's then cleared by Manchester United for the ball out of play for a throw that will be taken over on the Middlesbrough left-hand side. And United are going to make a double change. Elanga and Fred are the two players that are going to be coming on for them.
Well, I think that speaks volumes for the way that Borough have played in the second half. The fact that Ralph Rangnick at this stage now turning to the likes of Anthony Elanga and Fred. We'll see, we'll get confirmation, Jim, in a moment exactly who's going to make way. But it's the home team, it's the Premier League team that are looking and cutting the more frustrated figures out on this Old Trafford surface right now.
The double change hasn't been made yet. The two players are waiting. Manchester United work it forward here. Marcus Rashford's got it on the edge of the penalty area for a long ball played forward, but he just knocked it straight into the shins of Isaiah Jones. Rashford gets it back again, goes via Shaw to Maguire and out to the United right-hand side. Dallow coming into a more central position, then works it to his right for Sancho. Right-footed ball in from him, and United have a corner, which will be taken away to our right-hand side. This is their first corner of the second half, and it comes with 10 minutes of normal time remaining, half an hour of extra time to come if there's no further score in the next 10 minutes, and then after that, penalties if necessary. Corner to Manchester United. Can they restore their lead? Ronaldo. McNair keeping an eye on him, making a darting move in towards the near post. Pogba with a little looping header at the far post, but he was off balance by the time the ball got to him, and it's easily claimed by the advancing Joe Lumley, who's in no hurry to restart play. And in fact, one of the other Middlesbrough defenders has gone down injured. I think it's McNair who's in need of treatment inside his penalty area way to the left. That will give Manchester United the chance to make this double change now whilst McNair receives his treatment. So the first player off is Marcus Rashford, and it's Elanga for Rashford. The first change that is being made, the Swedish under-21 international winger who started each of the last three games but left out tonight. He will come on for Rashford, and Paul Pogba makes way. Fred for Pogba.
Yeah. Getting a good round of applause, Paul Pogba. I thought his performance was decent. Again, I mentioned the first 10 or 15 minutes a bit quiet, but after that, one little slip in possession in that deep line midfield role, which he got punished for with a yellow card, but I think his all-round game was very good. Anthony Elanga on to just try and freshen things up.
It's 1-1 here with 7 minutes to go. McNair is okay, he's back on his feet. And Manchester United have possession with Bruno Fernandes to Fred, edge of the penalty area. From him to Dallow, chipped in behind Elanga. Clearance high up in the air from Howson. Fernandes heading it forward. Didn't have the legs to get back to the goalkeeper. Howson volleys that one away. Luke Shaw on halfway, it's a lovely touch, and then tried to take on Piero, but couldn't beat him. Now Watmore has it here for Middlesbrough. Coming in off the right-hand touchline, he's gone to the ground, he's looked for the free kick, that was a dive. No foul by Shaw, and Manchester United will bring it forward. Dallow nudges it past Taylor, out to the right flank. So both sides have now made two changes. They are entitled to 5. If we go into extra time, you don't get a 6th player that you can bring on. So it will be 5 even if we play 120 minutes. Both sides still with 3 in hand. Sancho, 6 minutes to go. It's back for Shaw. Shaw is 20 yards outside the penalty area. Goes 10 yards further back for Maguire. United trying to maintain a modicum of patience, but just going to try and get the job done inside 90 minutes. Varane across the face of Maguire, finding Luke Shaw. Shaw faced up by Paedo. Down to the left flank for Jadon Sancho. Sancho's just come out of the left since Elanga has come on, and the young Swede is over on the right. It's Bruno Fernandes looking for him, but too much on it. Overcooked the cross, goes out of play for a goal kick that Lumley will take. By the time he's taken it, there'll only be 5 minutes of normal time remaining. It's 1-1.
And that's the danger for United, because now the genuine source of frustration felt all round this Old Trafford Stadium, that you try and force it. As players, you feel that when you're in that situation, and your fans are getting a little bit fed up with what they're seeing, and they're urging you forward. There's always that tendency to knock it into the box too soon, too quickly, as Bruno Fernandes did there, and it sails out harmlessly for a goal kick and relieves all the pressure. It's really difficult in those moments sometimes to just keep your head, keep your cool, and keep the ball moving from side to side and waiting for a better chance to deliver something with a little bit more quality, maybe from a better position.
The last 31 matches that Manchester United have played at home to lower division opposition in the FA Cup, they've won 28, lost only one, which was the famous Jermaine Beckford-inspired Leeds victory here back in 2010. Middlesbrough, who won at Mansfield with a last-minute goal in round 3, hoping that there might be a late sting in this tale as well. Fred with a cross inside the penalty area, which is half cleared by Dijksteel. For Shaw, Sancho, now Maguire. Maguire finds Scott McTominay, takes it inside the centre circle, and then chips it out towards the right-hand touchline and straight out of play. And there are more murmurs of discontent from the Manchester United fans, with 4 to go at 1-1.
Again, Scott McTominay doing exactly what I just mentioned. He's on the halfway line, just go back to Varane, start again. Instead of that, he's trying to force something into an area, there's nobody there, and he clips it straight out for a throw-in for Middlesbrough, who are taking plenty of time now, and just slowly but surely trying to run the clock down and get to that 90 minutes.
Throw taken over on the Middlesbrough left-hand side by McNair. Dallow wins it. Fry wins it back for Middlesbrough. And then Manchester United work it out of their right-hand touchline for Elanga. Now play forward by Varane. Via Fred to Elanga again. Nice little cushion layoff from him, but Dallow's ball back to him. Didn't reciprocate that same quality. And then it's gone straight past him and out of play for a free kick, which will be taken, a throw which will be taken over on that far touchline. Tomorrow's got a little bit to live up to, I think it's fair to say, after a belting FA Cup tie tonight, the first of the 16 fourth round ties. Tomorrow on the TalkSport network at 12:30. Kidderminster West Ham is right here. Chelsea Plymouth on TalkSport 2. Watmore trying to flick it forward. It's gone out of play for a throw which will be taken over on the Manchester United right, and the scoreboard clock away to our right shows 2 minutes and 40 seconds of normal time remaining. There will be a bit of stoppage time to be added on, not least because of that McNair treatment a few minutes ago. Here's Luke Shaw coming into a central position. He's done really well. It's a good run, and then he's laid it off intelligently to his right for Dallow. Now Elanga has it. Ronaldo's waiting in the middle by the penalty spot. Dale Fry goal side of him. Ball played back again. Fred trying to work it inside the box, and it's knocked away before he got to Bruno Fernandes, and McNair will take a touch down the left-hand touchline and get it half clear towards halfway. But Manchester United win it back and have it with Varane.
Yeah, got a tired legs out there from the Middlesbrough players now. They're dropping back, just edging back towards the edge of their own box. You can hear the United fans trying to pick it up, trying to pick the tempo up as they are knocking the ball from side to side in Borough territory, just waiting for that, maybe that last opportunity, that one last opportunity to try and put this game to bed.
Luke Shaw's in space on the United left, and Varane has seen him. That's a lovely pass. It's picked him out. He's got time to measure across. He turns inside. He's inside the penalty area. Little layoff from him. Couldn't find Ronaldo. Fred tries to flick it back in, and as Elanga was just waiting to pull the trigger, Tavernier knocks it away, gets it to halfway. Back it comes from Varane to Dalot. Out to the United right. Fred's ball in, and Elanga with a diving header miscued it and sent it way wide.
Chance for Anthony Elanga. I don't think he's actually touched the ball with his feet yet since he's been on. Decent cross that comes in from Fred off the right side, and he's level with the post on the edge of the 6-yard box. He's only got to get a glancing sort of contact on that header, and in the end it comes off his forehead and it goes straight out for a goal kick.
Did score against Brentford and on the last day of last season at Wolves, so he's got a couple of first team goals to his name. There's Jones trying to take on Shaw. The ball ricocheting back off the England defender. Howson playing it forward, and then a touch from Dijksdale, and it's found its way through here for a shot from Sporar, who rifles it in towards the near post. He's claiming it hit Varane on its way through, but the assistant referee didn't agree. It's a crowd of over 71,000 here at Old Trafford tonight, and all eyes, or many of them, trained on Martin Atkinson to see how many extra minutes are going to be added here before we go to extra time, and it is 4. Here's Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo towards the edge of the penalty area on a night where he missed the penalty at 0-0, rolling it across the edge of the box for Dalot. Nearly everybody back for Borough. Ball inside the penalty area, diving header away from Fry. Howson can help it further away, and out for a throw that'll be taken on the left-hand side. And as it came down towards the Middlesbrough technical area, all of the coaches tried to get a touch on it to punch it into the crowd to waste time.
They did. They were fighting over it, weren't they, to try and stop it from coming back out there, which it has done already. Luke Shaw in possession.
For the record, it was Leo Perkovic that won the battle.
It was.
Here's Fred. Ford to Dalot. Dalot to Bruno Fernandes. Fred's got it again, but he's not in a shooting position. He's 15 yards outside the box. United trying to be patient. The end of the first of the 4 extra minutes before we go to extra time. Shaw, lovely step over from Fred, then gets it back from Bruno Fernandes, takes on his man, gets to the byline, chips it in, and the header is straight at the goalkeeper. And it was another glorious opportunity. Lumley, really, because the header was at such close range, wouldn't have been able to get there had he gone either side of him, but Elanga hit the goalkeeper with the header, really, and it remains 1-1.
Should score. That's an easier one than the one that came at him just a couple of moments ago. Really good ball from Fred. Stood it up perfectly, beautifully to the far post. Elanga climbs above the defender, powers the header straight at Joe Lumley.
Scott McTominay in possession for Manchester United inside his own half. Back for Shaw, who whacks it away. Fry's let it bounce, and that was possibly misjudged, but flag's actually up against Cristiano Ronaldo, who, as soon as Fry had made his error, was then in a position to try and capitalise, but did so from an offside position. That's worked out really well for Borough, because they now have a chance to get a few bodies forward, although it's a pretty conservative attempt to do that, but they got a free kick 15 yards inside their own half, and we played 2 additional minutes. Lumley will try and stand this up. They haven't sent the centre-halves forward to try and attack it. The Piero is a 6-footer. Jones is forward as well. Sporar is in there. It's hit down the right-hand side of the area. It's well defended by Maguire, who used his upper body strength to stop Watmore getting a run towards the ball, and it's a goal kick that Henderson takes. Still waiting for his first clean sheet of the season for Manchester United. He's got it out quickly, out towards the right-hand side. Looks as though Elanga might have run out of room on that far touchline. Ronaldo, after the ball was judged to have stayed in, then tries to bring it forward, but lost out to McNair. And it's cleared by Lumley. And Middlesbrough 70 seconds away from getting this to extra time. Shaw, back to his goalkeeper. Henderson with time to take a touch in all fluorescent yellow. Plays it outside the penalty area for Varane. Varane out to the right-hand side. Dalot with a long crossfield ball, and Sancho fell over as he backpedaled to try and attack it. Now Middlesbrough have a throw, and they'll be able to waste a few more seconds, and they are going to be able to get this into extra time.
Jadon Sancho there backpedaling has kind of hurt himself a little bit there. He immediately signalled to the United bench to make the change.
It's going to be a throw that Dijksdale will take. Arches his back, hurls it forward, 20 seconds to go. Sancho, continuing for now. Fernandes, back to McTominay. Ball hitting Piero, coming down for Varane. Last attack of normal time for Manchester United. Dalot, right-footed ball in. Ronaldo's done well to stretch and control it. Clever little layoff as well. Sancho for McTominay. Urged to shoot. It's back for Sancho instead. Sancho clipping it in, and Lumley comes out. Gets his hands on the ball, and Middlesbrough have done part one of the job. They've held Manchester United through 90 minutes, and we've got extra time to come. What a start this has been to FA Cup 4th round weekend on TalkSport. It's Manchester United 1, Middlesbrough 1, 90 minutes played, extra time on the agenda. Well, a couple of changes, one for each side. Phil Jones is on for Rafa Varane for United. Jones, who made his first Premier League appearance for nearly 2 years against Wolves, and he's on for just his second appearance of this season. Middlesbrough have also made a change, or a double change. They've made one at left wing back, where Peltier has come on to replace Taylor, and Aaron Connolly is also on, and Andras Spora is the man that has come off. So Borough got one change left, Manchester United have got 2 changes left. United can still call upon Mata, Matic, Wan-Bissaka and Mejbri, as well as the substitute goalkeepers Heaton and Grant. Borough can still bring on Wood, Bamba, Coburn or Boyd Muss. And their substitute goalkeeper is Daniels. So here we go. First of 2 15-minute periods of extra time. It's 1-1 on TalkSport and Sirius XM FC in the United States. And Tavernier is in possession for Middlesbrough. And Phil Jones steps up. It's a good first contribution from him, and he can bring it forward and play it out to the right-hand side for Dalot. Dalot clipping it inside the penalty area, but on the half volley, Del Fry's there to knock it away. Connolly couldn't hold it up. One back by United. Fernandes trying to work it forward. There was a clash on the edge of the penalty area as Fernandes thought that he should have a free kick. It has actually been given the other way as it was worked forward. It was Fred that initially played it in, and then just a little coming together. There's a foul by Fernandes, who then tripped over the stricken Middlesbrough player. And both are in need of treatment. Tavernier is being held back to his feet. Fernandes only now gingerly gets back to his.
Yep. Chance there, Bruno Fernandes. Just sensed there might be an opportunity for him to shoot. Can't actually see what he did wrong in terms of fouling Tavernier, who did really well to get back in and block the shot. And then in the motion of actually striking it, Fernandes just dumps the ball against Tavernier, and Anthony Taylor felt that was a free kick.
Ball is headed forward by Peltier, straight out of play for a throw that will be taken by Manchester United, who are lining up with Henderson in goal. It's Dalot, Jones, Maguire and Shaw, Fred and McTominay, Elanga, Bruno Fernandes and Sancho, and Ronaldo up top. Middlesbrough, Lumley in goal, Dijksteel, Fry and McNair, and then Jones, Piero, Howson, Tavernier and Peltier. And up front, it's Watmore and Connolly. Here's Jones. A couple of minutes gone in extra time. First of 10 live games that we're bringing over the course of this weekend here on TalkSport. Great start to FA Cup 4th round weekend this has been. Live and exclusive on TalkSport. Dijksteel under pressure from Ronaldo. Gets it clear by whacking it straight into the Portuguese, and out of play for a throw which will be taken on the Middlesbrough right-hand side. 92 and a half played. Manchester United 1, Middlesbrough 1. And here's Andy Townsend.
Yeah, you know, in extra time, you're not going to create lots of chances. They're going to be misplaced passes. Players are tired, even though both teams have been able to pep things up a little bit with some fresh legs. So it's about focusing and concentrating, and when you do get that moment, can someone find the energy, the strength, and the little bit of class required to take it? We'll see, but you know, it's been a really competitive game. It's been a fast game. It's been a typical cup tie. It has. You know, a lot of cup ties from years gone by where you have teams playing from the league below. They get physical. They want to get stuck in. It's not that. We don't see so much of that anymore, but Borough hung in there in the first half. They could have got overrun. They hung in there, but second half they had that 15-20 minute spell where they got their goal and they really looked like they were going to go and find a second. It didn't come, and here we are, Jim, and now in extra time.
And a concern here for Manchester United because Sancho has gone down. You'll remember just inside the 90 minutes he went down, fell over backwards as he was trying to control the ball, and it looked as though he damaged his thigh. And now 3.5 minutes into extra time, he's sat down in the Middlesbrough half of the field. They've sent Mejbri out to warm up, and he would be the natural replacement. I'm not sure that Sancho's going to be able to continue here.
Well, look, he was signalling that he wanted to come off just before full time. He was actually making that motion with his hands, turning his hands over as if to say, get me off. And they've decided to keep him out there, and within a couple of 3 minutes, he's on the field making that, got that same sort of look on his face. He's back up on his feet, and we'll see what happens.
It's often the way that when you get quite an intense end to 90 minutes, when extra time starts, everybody just has a little bit of a breather, and the first 7 or 8 minutes can be a really static and sterile affair, and that's happening here. Juan Mata is also being ready, so maybe it'll be Mata for Sancho to start with, but Mejbri is out warming up away to our left. More attack-minded player, but it looks as though it's going to be a rare appearance for Juan Mata in a few moments' time. United have it on the edge of their own penalty area with Maguire. And he's played it out towards Luke Shaw. Back for Maguire again, under pressure. Guys are back for Henderson. Takes a touch and then it's a low skidding clearance. Ronaldo comes to meet it. Turns it round the corner for Elanga. Sliding in, McNair stopped his progress down the touchline, and it's a Manchester United throw.
Yeah. Again, Middlesbrough not sitting deep with that back line. I think it's vitally important that they don't do that. Every time the ball goes into Ronaldo's feet, people are tight, people are following him all the way. Very much the game plan, exactly the same as it was from the first minute.
Manchester United will feel that they should have had the job done. Ronaldo missing a penalty. They hit the bar inside the opening 90 seconds. Bruno Fernandes missed a real sitter by clipping the outside of the post when it was 1-1. And Elanga should have scored with a header late in the piece. Middlesbrough have hung in there after Crooks' equalising goal. A controversial one after a handball from Watmore in the build-up. 5.5 gone in the second half. Manchester United 1, Middlesbrough 1. The ball is rolled out to Dale Fry. Fry taking a touch and playing it out towards Dijksteel. Dijksteel under pressure from Manchester United's press, chipping it forward into the centre circle, but Fred was there first. His ball forward wasn't the best, and it was seized upon by Lee Peltier, who reached the FA Cup quarter-finals with Leicester some 10 years ago. He's only ever played here at Old Trafford once in his career, a long career, and he won that day. That was as a Cardiff player. Fred turning it back for Shaw. Shaw controlling it midway between the edge of his own penalty area and the halfway line. He's played it forward here for McTominay. McTominay trying to play it forward. It's hit Piero. Piero winning it back. Right in the challenge of Luke Shaw. Flicking it out to his right-hand side for Duncan Watmore. Watmore driving it in across the face of goal. And he split the gap between Connolly at the far post and the post itself. And it rolls innocuously and harmlessly away for a goal kick.
Yeah, really good work from Piero, who robs McTominay. And they had men over there again, Borough. They had United stretched, they had them in all sorts of problems, and Duncan Watmore's finish in the end just wasn't quite accurate enough. It was a kind of cross-come shot and was a bit of nothing really in the end. If he'd have picked someone out, they had green shirts, they had superiority in that box.
I think he was expecting Connolly to continue his run forward, but Connolly himself sensed that he was going to be offside, and so he'd come back out. And the reality is that maybe Phil Jones might have played him on, but all happened in the blink of an eye, and just led to a discussion between the two Borough players rather than a celebration. And now Manchester United have got a further injury problem as Bruno Fernandes came to meet the ball and he got a knee in the small of the back from Peltier, and he's down in need of treatment.
Yeah, he's still laying on the floor, Bruno Fernandes. He's going to need to get himself up and get going. Ronaldo and everybody there, they're all trying to pick him up, but at the moment he's not looking too good and not moving too freely. He felt that. Peltier was committed into winning that aerial challenge. Actually, Bruno Fernandes never really jumped for the ball. But the Middlesbrough man, as you say, Jim, clattered into him.
So Juan Mata is being readied, but they're just waiting to see whether he's going to come on for Fernandes or Sancho. That's my guess. I just want to ascertain the severity of Bruno Fernandes' problem before they decide who's going to be coming on.
And also, at this stage, both coaches will also be thinking about penalty takers. They will. You have to. So you don't want to take off someone like Bruno Fernandes, you would imagine would take a penalty, but he's come over to the sideline at the moment. Juan Mata is stripped and ready to go on. It's just interesting whether that's going to be for that change.
So Bruno Fernandes is still in discussion with those on the Manchester United bench. Plays restarted, they're down to 10 just for the moment. Now Fernandes comes back on and he's not moving with any freedom at all. United play it forward, looking for Sancho down the left-hand side. It was a poor pass. Fernandes is in a lot of distress. He looks as though he doesn't want to continue with the severity of that knock. But the numbers come up, and it is Sancho that is coming off. Mata for Sancho is Manchester United's fourth change.
Well, out of the two, Jadon Sancho's moving worse right now than Bruno Fernandes. One of his better nights in a red shirt, Jadon Sancho got the goal and enjoyed his performance, particularly in the first 45. He was always looking quite prominent, even in the second period, but just tired a wee bit and appeared to just stretch his hamstring a little. So he makes way for Juan Mata.
Juan Mata, who's won this competition more than anybody else on the pitch tonight. And the Chelsea side that was victorious in 2012, he scored in that final. Didn't score in that final. He did score in the 2016 final, though, for United, when they beat Crystal Palace, which was the last time they won it. And Mata, a two-time winner, coming on for only his fourth appearance of a season in which he has been fit pretty much all the way through. Nice touch from the Spaniard there. Playing in Luke Shaw. Ovation for Sancho as he makes his way down this touchline. And now Elanga is brought down into the penalty area by Jones. Play goes on. And the shot in towards the near post is a real miscue from Cristiano Ronaldo. And the United players are far from happy. But there was a clear advantage for United with the ball at Ronaldo's feet inside the penalty area. But that was a really poor challenge on the edge of the penalty area from Jones on Elanga. Yeah. And he's lucky to escape a retrospective yellow card.
Yeah, it was outside the box. The challenge certainly outside the box from Jones on Elanga. He's actually in an offside position when he received that as well. But Anthony Taylor played the advantage. Ronaldo then picks the ball up on that left channel, just a couple of yards really from the byline. Tries a shot with his right foot and drags it into the side netting without any real worry for Joe Lumley.
3.5 minutes of the first period of extra time to go, but it could easily be 3 minutes of added time in this period alone. Mata with the ball in his hand, wanting to take a throw, thinks better of it, leaves it for Diogo Dalot. Dalot with the yellow ball on the palm of his right hand, throws it into Bruno Fernandes, who is still struggling but putting a braver face on it now. Maguire back out for Shaw. It's 1-1 after Sancho on 25, Crooks equalising on 64. Ronaldo missing a penalty at 0-0. Here's Jones forward towards Juan Mata. Mata clipping it in, left-footed towards the edge of the area. Another stumble from Bruno Fernandes, but that's literally what it was. No foul, no complaints from him. Mata trying to pick up the loose balls, done well to get the better of Howson in the battle of the veterans in the midfield. Mata has it again. Ronaldo coming back out, plays it towards Luke Shaw, bottom left-hand corner of the Middlesbrough penalty area. Howson again in the right place to volley it clear. And he'll be reminiscing about 12 years ago when he was part of the Leeds side that won here, and we'll just be wondering whether this could be his and Borough's night again. 102 played, it's 1-1.
Yeah, it's all United in terms of possession in this first period. We haven't really seen Aaron Connolly or Watmore, who are up front for Middlesbrough at the moment.
Whoa. Jones just got it back for Henderson. Watmore putting the pressure on. It's a close run thing. Now the other end, Fernandes with a precise ball through for Ronaldo. Ronaldo inside the penalty area. Fry stops him turning. Ronaldo still has it, clips it in, punched away by Lumley. which actually took it back into the traffic of Manchester United players arriving. Dalot, Fred, Fernandes tries to play it forward, Peltier whacks it away. Mata not happy with the lack of quality on the ball in towards him, and Middlesbrough have got it back for Henderson at the other end, and United's next attack will have to come from a much deeper position again.
Yeah, Borough just can't stem the flow now of United attacks. They're not obviously with the speed that United had in the first half, of course not, but it's pretty relentless at the moment. Borough are just playing without the ball, shuffling from side to side, keeping their shape, trying to get a block in, trying to serve the ball forward, but it's immediately coming straight back. So it's just really a case at the moment if United can stitch something worthwhile together.
Jones back to his goalkeeper. Henderson clears. McNair and Fry attacking the same ball, but Fry gave him a loud enough shout for McNair to take evasive action in the nick of time, and Fry heads it back into Manchester United's half. Shaw playing it forward down the Manchester United left. Elanga. He goes back for Maguire. Fred has it now. 40 seconds of this first period of extra time still to play. Ball forward, Lumley racing outside his penalty area, was there first for Middlesbrough.
Good goalkeeping that from Joe Lumley. Really good goal. When you got tired back defenders and a tired back line, as a goalkeeper you need to be ready to get out beyond the edge of the 18-yard line and make sure you're there to mop up. That's exactly what he did there. Put his foot through it. Excellent work.
Jones down for Dalot. And back for Phil Jones again. Martin Atkinson with the numbers board in his hand makes slow, steady progress to the edge of the technical area. Ball is with Jones, back for Henderson. Henderson playing it forward. Fred can turn at 1 additional minute at the end of this first period. A period which saw Bruno Fernandes receive 2 minutes of treatment, and then there was a subsequent substitution, but it is what it is. Maguire out of the Manchester United left for Shaw. Elanga, young Swede in towards Juan Mata. Mata to Bruno Fernandes. Fred coming onto it, right-footed effort, and he's cut across it and drilled it wide.
Nice football actually from United. Nice bit of one touch on the edge of the box, about 30 yards out. Elanga into Juan Mata, back to Bruno Fernandes. Great pass from him to Fred, who's then on his right foot on the edge of the box. He's got options to his right-hand side. He could have rolled it out, decided to take the shot with the right foot and skews it miles wide.
United have won each of their last 8 fourth-round ties, including a victory against Liverpool here last season. Actually haven't lost at home in round 4 since West Ham won here more than 20 years ago, with Di Canio scoring the winning goal. Here's Paddy McNair. Back towards his goalkeeper, and Lumley has the last touch of the first period of extra time. Gets it away, turns to the Borough fans behind that goal and applauds them. They give him a roar of appreciation in turn. And with 15 minutes away from a penalty shootout at Old Trafford, it's 1-1 after 105. And both sides, I'm sure, will be conscious of their relative records in penalty shootouts. Middlesbrough's is much better than Manchester United's.
Wow.
But historical records count for little. I mean, a few of those shootouts have been in the relatively recent past, but nevertheless, if it goes to penalties, I'm sure that Borough will be the happier of the two teams. We're back underway at the start of the second period, and it's United attacking the Stretford end in red shirts, white shorts and white socks, and Middlesbrough in their change kit of all dark green. Anthony Elanga in possession for Manchester United, and the starting challenge comes in from Jones, and it's a Middlesbrough throw.
How energetic has he been, Jim? Isaiah Jones down the right side. You mentioned him to me before the game about how good he's been, and my goodness, he's got across the ground so well tonight. He really has. A couple of times, as I mentioned, with the goal actually, got ahead of the ball because he was hoping to get it in front of him and perhaps should have been a bit more mindful defensively, but wow, he's ploughed up and down all night.
Steve Gibson, the Middlesbrough chairman and benefactor's name being sung by the travelling Teessiders as Ronaldo tries his luck. Goes back out to the right-hand side. Ball clipped in. Oh, a flying header just over the bar from Fernandes. Flags up. He wants a corner. And the referee initially pointed to the corner, but assistant referee has his flag up, and it's a free kick for the offside, which will be taken away to our left-hand side by Middlesbrough's Joe Lumley. And again, the match management from Middlesbrough in this situation is exactly what you would expect. They're slowing everything down, trying to make sure there's as few seconds of playing time as possible.
Yeah, not in any hurry to serve this ball forward now, Joe Lumley. And when he does so, he knocks it as high and as wide as he can, hoping that they can pick up a second ball, but it's United that have it. No, back with Johnny Housen, who's worked really hard in the middle of the park, hasn't he, tonight from Middlesbrough. Really solid effort from him.
Yeah, he's rolled back the years, man. More than 600 senior games behind him. Manchester United have a free kick. They're taking it quickly. Bruno Fernandes wide for Luke Shaw. It's 1-1 in extra time. Shaw with a high ball inside the penalty area, which bounces once and away from Peltier. Mata laying it back. Fred on the right-hand side of the penalty area, and the sliding challenge comes in to stop the cross. McNair is battling them with Elanga. No foul, and it's a Manchester United throw as it comes off McNair. And Ralph Rangnick is prowling, patrolling his technical area. Can hardly look at some of these exchanges of play. Elanga's ball in from the right, volley clear by Dale Fry, and on the end of it, Jones finds Maguire and then tells him that the ball back to Henderson is on, but Maguire has a slightly more proactive approach. Play back towards Shaw to McTominay, and McTominay's continued his run. They played around Watmore very easily there, but Middlesbrough do win it back on the right-hand touchline, and Jones will clear. Connolly hardly had a kick since coming on for Sporer. He couldn't get to a clearance. Backer comes in again without any real quality from United. It's heading by numbers at times from them. Fry could head that one away. Now Elanga to Fred. Shaw's ball inside the penalty area, looking for Elanga, and out of play for a Manchester United throw 10 yards from the corner flag. Yeah,
every cross that's coming in now is coming in front of that Middlesbrough back line. United are unable to really get behind them and cut balls back, and that's when you're really in business as a striker. That's when you can find that little half a yard you might need to apply a finishing touch. United just don't have the legs at the moment, it looks like, to get right in behind Middlesbrough.
Shaw back for Maguire. Jones able to turn it forward to his right hand side for Diogo Dalot. Now Fred. Juan Mata has got space. Mata making his way towards the edge of the penalty area, finds Shaw. Shaw delivers deep, too deep for Cristiano Ronaldo. A few more gesticulations from him. And the ball beats everybody and goes out of play for a throw on the Middlesbrough left. We've got 10.5 minutes before penalties. And it's Manchester United 1, Middlesbrough 1. And Jones, who you would imagine has covered more ground than anybody else, is feeling it now, 110 minutes in, and he's down with a little bit of cramp on the edge of his own penalty area.
Yeah, and again, just looking at Chris Wilder and Alan Neil in conversation in the technical area, considering about penalties. That's what they're thinking now. Who do we need to take one? We're going to need, obviously, 5. We might need more.
Jones is okay. That's Isaiah Jones of Middlesbrough rather than Phil Jones of Manchester United. Players restarted. It's a throw. Mata acts as the ball boy and tries to stop McNair, his former teammate, wasting too much time. Paddy McNair's ball thrown down the left-hand touchline is flicked on. Piero has shown some nice touches when he has had the opportunity.
Yep.
He hasn't had too many of them, with Middlesbrough not enjoying very much possession in the last 20-25 minutes or so, but when Piero does get it, he's very neat and tidy. The ball again is out for another throw, and more delaying tactics from McNair. Headed on that far touchline, and then as Middlesbrough win a free kick over on that far touchline, they do. Phil Jones fouling his man, and it's a chance to load the penalty area and whip it in.
It is indeed. It was unnecessary, that challenge from Phil Jones. In a wide area, Aaron Connolly's going absolutely nowhere. You don't need to foul him. Let him have the ball, let him roll it, let him give it back, and Borough will probably end up back with the ball on the halfway line. As it is now, they are right on the far side. They've got a chance to whip this right into the danger zone.
Now, they haven't had too many chances to get the 6-footers forward, but Chris Wilder has waved everybody forward for this. because this might be their best chance in the time that remains. Fry is in there, McNair is in there, left-footed ball swept in really, really deep. Fry at the far post, heading it back into the fray, and they get a corner out of it. Phil Jones heads it away. May well have been Henderson's ball comfortably at the near post, but he didn't get a shout and he dealt with it. Fredge claiming he was pushed over inside the penalty area, and it should be a free kick, but it's a Middlesbrough corner.
Did well there, Fry. He's a big lad. I was surprised actually it was Fred that was just trying to block him and deny him. You'd have thought one of the bigger boys might have come out to detail him, but as it is, another corner for Middlesbrough.
Tavernier has come across to take it. Make sure that he has time to applaud the Borough fans before he spots the ball down. Come on, Borough, they shout. Right arm above the head from Tavernier. Left-footed in, swinging delivery. Towards the edge of the 6-yard box, Maguire with an important header away. Just there ahead of Howson. And it's Shaw trying to bring it clear, has run it straight out. And it's a throw which will be taken on the Middlesbrough left, which is the far touchline as we look at it, in front of the Sir Alex Ferguson stand. And we're midway through the second period of extra time. It is 1-1, as it has been now for 50 minutes. And that penalty shootout is fast approaching.
Yeah, certainly is. So concentrate now, focus. Don't be the one to make that mistake, that lapse in concentration that just throws the whole night away. That's what it's all about. Make sure your defensive work is thorough and clear your lines. You don't have to be that clever. Just got to make sure you don't give any opportunities unnecessarily.
Rain beginning to come down now as Peltier takes a throw. Tavernier plays it back to him, but he couldn't get a cross in. United working away from the edge of their own penalty area. Dyksdale's going to be able to pick it up though on the halfway line for Middlesbrough, and they've had the better possession the last 2 or 3 minutes. Paero couldn't find a way past Maguire, who stood firm. Fred's clearance picked up by Elanga. Bruno Fernandes with a layoff. McTominay will bring it forward. Ronaldo in space on the left-hand side, now able to take over. Watmore sticks his foot in the midfield, and then Connolly is first with the loose ball. Fred has a little snap at his heels, gets a yellow card. Middlesbrough get another free kick and another chance to load the penalty area.
You know, fantastic play from Borough, really is. Because United are trying to get forward, but there's a green shirt chipping and rattling away at their ankles every time they pick the ball up. Johnny Howson, brilliant work initially to stop Scott McTominay, and then in the end Fred has to foul Aaron Connolly, and it's a chance, as you say, Jim, for Johnny Howson. He's about 10 yards into the United half, just off the centre, and he's going to load it in for those big guys who have just peeled off back post.
He's clipped it in towards Dale Fry, headed down and flicked on the goal by Connolly, and he couldn't divert it either side of Henderson, and that was Middlesbrough's biggest chance to take the lead.
What a chance for Aaron Connolly. What a chance.
Manchester United get it forward quickly at the other end. Middlesbrough still trying to get their shape back. They have regained it now. Mata for Ronaldo. It's a Manchester United throw. Middlesbrough could easily have taken a 115th minute lead.
And from that free kick, Johnny Howson arrowed it out to the edge of the wide area of the 18-yard box. Dale Fry got the head on it, and Aaron Connolly made first contact, not enough to just knock it past Henderson.
Long ball inside the Borough penalty area. Bounces once on the left-hand side of the box and comes out for Shaw. Shaw back for Maguire. Connolly chasing, putting the hard yards in, trying to stop Manchester United getting it forward quickly. Jones back for Maguire. Crowd wanting a greater display of urgency here from the men in red. Shaw down the left-hand touchline. Elanga further down the line. Here's Harry Maguire, trying to pass his Chris Wilder audition as an overlapping centre-half, and then gets the ball and passes it straight out of play for a throw to Middlesbrough.
I just mentioned about getting in behind the back line. Harry Maguire does that. Put your left foot on it, wrap your left foot around it and just put it into the box. Instead of that, I mean, it's a great run from him. It's a very honest run from him at this stage of the game. He comes back out, and in the end they give the ball back to Middlesbrough, and it's a Borough throw deep in their own half.
Elanga makes first contact from the throw. Dyksdale plays it forward. High ball chipped over the top. Henderson races outside his own penalty area and gets there calmly. Maybe a little bit too calmly perhaps. Got it away from Watmore, which was all that mattered. And Manchester United will build once more. 3.5 to go. Ilanga riding the challenge of Jones. Watmore coming back. Shoves McTominay over. Might be spoken to here by the referee. Free kick is Manchester United's. About 20 yards outside the Middlesbrough penalty area. Jones is down again. That's Isaiah Jones and Middlesbrough. And still suffering from the cramp. Might need some treatment. Borough medical staff have been given permission to come on and attend to him. They've got Wood, Bamba, Coburn and Boyd Muntz that they can bring on to replace him if necessary. So a couple of those are centre halves. Sol Bamba's experience, you would imagine, would be the man that they would call upon. Bamba, who's 37, an Ivorian who's played in the quarterfinals of this competition back in his Leicester days. And it looks as though he's stripped and ready for action, and it might be that he'll be coming on for Isaiah Jones very shortly. Yeah, he looks like he's run his race, Isaiah Jones. My goodness, he has really got through some mileage tonight. He's racked up the distances, he really has. Played very, very well. He's back up on his feet, but it looks like Sol Bamba is going to be coming on, and he'll put himself, I would have thought, right in the thick of things. In those three central defenders, maybe Paddy McNair shifting out to a right-back position, something like that. The Borough backline just asking for clarification for how they want, or how Chris Wilder wants them to move around, because Bamba's going to be playing in the middle. So Bamba has come on. First of all, this free kick to defend. There are two in the Middlesbrough wall. Bruno Fernandes stands over it for an in-swinger. Luke Shaw might send it away from goal. And he does that. Out comes Lumley. Good punch clear. Out only as far as Dallow, though. Right-footed ball in from him. McTominay with a looping header. Tipped over the bar by the backtracking Lumley. And Manchester United have a corner with 90 seconds to go. Yeah, Joe Lumley did well, actually, to punch the initial cross from Luke Shaw. It was Diogo Dallow fed it back into the box, and unfortunately for him, he had to tip it over the bar. In comes Mata's corner. It's 1-1. Maguire going up for it. Couldn't get there. Half cleared by the first Middlesbrough back defender. Tavernier got it further away. And then Fred, on halfway, has passed it straight out of play for a throw which will be taken on the Middlesbrough right. And we've only got a minute to go. There's going to be some more time to be added on. Another minute, maybe two at a push at the end of this period of extra time. Penalty shootout is only moments away. That would be a victory in itself for Middlesbrough, but would they be able to complete the job against the 12-time FA Cup winners? Can either side create one last worthwhile opportunity? Ball in the hands of Dean Henderson. Plays it out from the back. He would talk sport. It's one apiece. High ball towards the edge of the penalty area, which Ronaldo goes up for. Diverted back for Luke Shaw. Bruno Fernandes picking it up on the left-hand side for Manchester United. Back from him to Fred, to Mata, to Fernandes again. Manchester United going backwards rather than even sideways at the moment. Now Phil Jones has the chance to bring it forward. Jones to Fred. Maguire makes his way into space. Step over would have worked well for Manchester United there. It cannoned off Maguire. Bruno Fernandes is first to the loose ball, and United have retained it. Phil Jones again, playing it forward in towards Scott McTominay. McTominay towards the corner of the penalty area. Can United win it right at the death? 2 minutes of added time before penalties. We're in them. Ilanga in a central position, 25 yards from goal. Back for Luke Shaw. Shaw trying to run the long way round Watmore. Back out for Juan Mata again. Mata clipping it in left-footed. They're arriving at the far post. Ilanga went up for it. Tavernier got it. Fred clipping it back in. Ronaldo stretching. Can't get a touch. And Peltier will whack it away for Middlesbrough towards halfway. And there's just over a minute to go. Yeah. And Borough have just got to try and get organised, because United are pouring forward. Each time they get the ball, they're trying to feed it into the wide areas, and you know it's coming straight into the box. Every back pass, like that one there from Harry Maguire, greeted with a chorus of boos now from the United faithful. They just want to see the ball in the box. Henderson to Jones. Dallow with a long diagonal. Dijkstale's come off his thigh and goes behind for a corner. 40 seconds of stoppage time at the end of extra time to go. Bruno Fernandes trots across as fast as his tired legs could carry him. Now and ever for Manchester United from this corner, clipped in towards the penalty spot. First contact from Maguire, back into the fray. Bruno Fernandes rifles it in, and it almost clean Phil Jones out on the edge of the 6-yard box. His header too brisk over the bar, out of play, goal kick to Middlesbrough, and that is going to be that.
It is going to be that. You know, it's been a riveting cup tie, it really has, and I think Borough deserve to get to penalties. I think they've been so honest with their performance. As we mentioned, Jim, United could have had it all wrapped up, done and dusted by half-time. They didn't, and Borough they never took a step back. They've always kept going forward, to their credit. And in extra time, whilst United again have dominated all the stats, they haven't shrunk it, Middlesbrough. They've kept going, and it looks like we're going all the way.
Manchester United, much the better side in the first 45, only had a 1-0 advantage. Middlesbrough, an element of luck about their equalising goal just past the hour mark. Then a number of decent exchanges. Borough playing their best football of the game in that second period. Manchester United taken to extra time, couldn't find a way through. They missed decent chances. A night where they've hit the post, the bar, missed the penalty. Now it goes to penalties. In a repeat of the 2015 League Cup tie between these two. Dead level after extra time. One apiece on this occasion. But who will be able to hold their nerve in the shootout? Well, it was Manchester United that won the toss for the penalties. And as a consequence, they will be taken in front of the Stretford end away to our left-hand side. Anthony Taylor's just having a word with the two goalkeepers, Joe Lumley and Dean Henderson. Just reiterating that with VAR, every movement, potential movement off the line is going to be checked.
Yeah, it will be, you're right, Jim. So you've got to get it spot on as a goalkeeper nowadays. Gone are the days where a goalie could come flying out a yard off the line as the player's about to strike it. That's not going to happen.
Middlesbrough's last penalty shootout ended in defeat. It was against Crewe in a League Cup tie a couple of years ago. They're going first in this one, and it's Paddy McNair, formerly of this parish, who will make that long, lonely walk forward. Anthony Taylor stands by the yellow ball, which is on the spot, has a word with McNair, who just readjusts the lie of the ball. Henderson kicking the left-hand post, getting some imaginary grass away from between the studs on his left boot, and now he stands making the goal look as small as possible, clapping his hands, moving his arms. United fans behind that goal, waving, doing everything they can to put McNair off, who strides forward and sends the keeper the wrong way, and Paddy McNair scores the first penalty in the shootout.
Very well taken from Paddy McNair. Didn't fill me with massive amounts of confidence, Jim, when I saw him stepping up to take the first one, but all credit to him. He kept his composure, he was confident, and he slotted it, sent Dean Henderson the wrong way.
Cristiano Ronaldo missed the penalty, of course, within the 120 minutes. It's Juan Mata that goes first. Get your views in a moment as where you think, what number you think Ronaldo's going to take in this shootout and what the thought process might be. It's going to be Mata first, though, for United against Joe Lumley. Mata, the Spaniard, two-time FA Cup winner, hits it left-footed, sends him the wrong way. It's a really good penalty. Lumley dived to his right, and the ball went to the right-hand side of the goal as we look at it. It's 1-1 after a penalty apiece. Yeah,
great penalty from Juan Mata. You're always under pressure when you're trying to catch up. When the first one's gone in, it's vitally important that you respond, and Juan Mata has done that perfectly. Again, sending the goalkeeper the wrong way. Crisply hit and confidently dispatched into the corner.
Martin Paero, the Argentine, spots the ball down. The referee again just having a word with Henderson, but this delays the penalty. It's going to be Paero. It's a long run up, and the goalkeeper went the right way away, but he squeezed it underneath him, and all 3 penalties have been scored. Henderson very nearly stopped that. And Piero hit it briskly enough to get it past him, and it's 2-1 Middlesbrough.
Well, Dean Henderson dives over it, Jim. He actually goes over the top of that one. You can't believe he hasn't saved it. I'm just looking at him now. He's absolutely furious with himself. He guesses right, and he absolutely almost goes in underneath his elbow. Not even an outstretched arm. That one should have been saved. He can't believe it. He beats the ground in frustration.
Haven't had a miss yet. Harry Maguire next up for Manchester United. A slightly stuttering run-up. Really good penalty. Blasted into the bottom left-hand corner. That's been the best of them so far. It's 2-2.
Good penalty, Harry Maguire. Tiptoed up to the ball a little bit. Just had one eye on Joe Lumley and then thumped it hard across his body. Again, sending the Middlesbrough goalkeeper the wrong way.
Johnny Howson, wearing 16, the Middlesbrough captain, who has knocked Manchester United out of the FA Cup once before in his career. As a youngster with Leeds, now as a veteran with Middlesbrough, hoping that lightning can strike twice. The same end of the ground in which that Leeds goal went in all those years ago. Front of the Stretford end. Howson against Henderson! Into the bottom right-hand corner. And still we wait for the first miss. Now it's Fred next for Manchester United. What do they do with Ronaldo?
Well, I think Ronaldo would probably be there to take the crucial penalty, the all-important one. Now at the moment United are having to play catch-up, so his penalty at the moment could be the one to keep it going. It's often that last one is a crucial one. There's obviously loads of debate about whether it should be the 4th or the 5th penalty, your best penalty taker, but we'll see what's going to happen. Here's Fred.
He's had a checkered Manchester United career. It's a stuttering run-up left-footed, and he has squeezed it into the bottom right-hand corner with Lumley going the right way. The worst of United's penalties so far, but good enough. He got it in. It's 3-3 after 3 penalties apiece.
Again, this time Joe Lumley guesses right, but he's in springing to his left. He's ended up diving again, pretty much over the top of that one from Fred, which was accurately hit and enough pace on it to not allow the Borough keeper to get there.
Marcus Tavernier takes 3 deliberate steps back. Henderson, again, indulging in a little bit of time wasting, just stood with his back on the goal net. Now he's on his line waiting. Tavernier, left-footed into the top right-hand corner. The first penalty that's really gone for height, and he scores. And so here is Cristiano Ronaldo on the eve of his 37th birthday, on the night when he has already missed from the penalty spot. 20 minutes into the game, at the other end of the ground, he sent a low penalty wide of the left-hand post as we look at it. Will he go the same way this time? It's a straight run-up from Ronaldo. All kidology, of course. Mind games between him and the goalkeeper. Will he go the same way? Will the keeper go the same way? It's Ronaldo! That's what he wished he'd done about an hour and a half ago as he blasts it into the inside side netting. It's 4-4 and we are effectively now in sudden death. Here's Sol Bamba.
Yes, Sol Bamba's making the long walk up. But what a pressure penalty that was for Ronaldo, because if that one got missed, then Sol Bamba had it within his powers to clinch the tie for Middlesbrough. As it is, this is now sudden death territory. Sol Bamba, I don't think he's touched the ball since he's come on. This will be the first time I think he's kicked it.
Marcus Rashford will know what's going through his mind from that perspective. Bamba, hands on hips, inside the penalty area. The 37-year-old, a veteran that's seen so much in his career, but not too many single kicks of the ball with this amount of pressure on them. It is Bamba! Off the inside of the post maybe, but in. That's a good penalty. Really snatched at it, and it did look as though it might be going wide. but it's still advantage Middlesbrough. 9 penalties taken between the two teams, and they've all gone in. So here's Bruno Fernandes.
So Bruno Fernandes, you know, when Sol Bamba was standing there about to strike that, I've got to be honest, I wasn't confident. But fair play to him. He just put his head down and he's dumped it past Dean Henderson. And now Bruno Fernandes has to score. This has got to go in.
He missed a very big penalty against Aston Villa in the Premier League earlier this season. Bruno Fernandes against Joe Lumley. Right-footed, and he's just tapped it in with an initial movement that committed the goalkeeper, and he rolled it nonchalantly into the gap that Lumley had left. 5-5. And now by definition, you're in the territory of those that really didn't want to take one.
Correct, Jim. You are. Once you get to this stage now, the guys that are walking up, they're not the first pick, so these guys, you just keep your fingers crossed and you just hope. I always think for some of these guys, put your head down and thump it. Put your head down and go for it. Duncan Watmore it is who's got this penalty for Middlesbrough.
Duncan Watmore, whose hand has played a major part in proceedings tonight. How would he get on with his right foot? Sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. Henderson committed himself really early on there, and Watmore just rolled it the other way.
Dean Henderson there was almost laying down before Duncan Watmore got to the ball. He went so early with that one.
Next up for Manchester United, Scott McTominay has to score to keep Manchester United in the FA Cup. 6-5 to Middlesbrough after 6 penalties each. McTominay taking 4 or 5 hasty steps back. He's looking nervous from here. Lumley trying to make the save, and he can't. McTominay scores. And Lumley went the right way, but McTominay again hit it quickly enough to get it past him. It's 6-6, and here's the big Borough number 6, Dale Fry.
Yeah, good penalty from McTominay. Hit it hard. Joe Lumley again just dives over the ball. I'm sure David De Gea, if he'd have been out here tonight, he'd have saved one of these with his legs, because there's been plenty around the goalkeepers, but they've just not been able to adjust their bodies. That one there, Jim, should be saved. It's not actually he's hit it hard, McTominay, but it's not a good pen.
That's gone between the right hand and knee of the diving goalkeeper. Dale Fry, a lifelong Middlesbrough supporter, with a chance to give his hometown team the advantage, and he does exactly that. Again, sending Henderson the wrong way. 7-6. 13 successful penalties in a row. Diogo Dalot will try and extend that streak to 14 to keep United in the cup.
Rania could be out there in a minute, stepping up to take one the way we're going. It's like incredible. There's been some really good qualities. That one there from Dale Fry, brilliant penalty. Again, sending the goalkeeper the wrong way. Yeah, had he have even gone the right way there, Dean Henderson, he's not getting it.
Lumley's turn, just to try and test the patience of the referee, but more critically, sow a few seeds of doubt in the mind of the man charged with keeping Manchester United in the cup. Dalot 2 steps to his left-hand side, addresses the ball and whacks it into the bottom right-hand corner. It's 7-7. And is this set for the goalkeepers to have to take one? Shaping up that way. We're not there yet, but we are very much in the territory of those that you wouldn't expect to step forward. Because here's Lee Peltier. Peltier, in his mid-30s, 6 goals in 500 games in his career. There won't be many opportunities in the past that he's had to set himself up for this moment. Peltier against Henderson. Oh, he's cracked under the bar and in. He's a lucky man.
Wow. He
nearly skied it into the Stretford end, but it is in, and it is still advantage Middlesbrough. 8-7. And still we wait for the first miss. And every Manchester United man that makes his way forward just exudes nerves. It's young Anthony Elanga who's the latest to face the responsibility. A penalty to keep Manchester United in the FA Cup. A save from Joe Lumley here, and he's written his name in Middlesbrough history. It's Elanga against Lumley. Oh, he's missed it! Over the bar! Anthony Elanga, the villain! And Middlesbrough have knocked Manchester United out of the FA Cup! Chaotic scenes away to our right-hand side. 9,000 Middlesbrough supporters are in ecstasy. The Smoggies have beaten Manchester United in the Cup on penalties again. This time it's the FA Cup. Manchester United fans leave. Forlorn expressions on the faces of their players. Anthony Elanga in tears. Lumley has sprinted down from one end of the pitch to the other to take his place in the celebrations with those Middlesbrough players in front of the Borough supporters. It's delight for Chris Wilder and Middlesbrough, but it's frustration and heartache for Manchester United, for Anthony Elanga, who's unconsolable. But for United, is that the moment that means it's going to be a fifth successive trophyless season? Surely it's all on the Champions League for them now, and it could well be 5 years without silverware here at Old Trafford for the first time in more than 30 years. Middlesbrough hung in there in a dramatic cup tie. United should have been out of sight in the first 45 minutes. They hit the bar on 90 seconds. They missed the penalty. They scored. They hit the post. More than an element of luck about Middlesbrough's equaliser. But they kept their nerve. They kept their resolve. They hung in there when it mattered most. And all of their penalties found the target. Anthony Elanga's still hasn't come down yet. So Middlesbrough fans, you can hear a famous night for the Teessiders. It has finished Manchester United 1, Middlesbrough 1. Middlesbrough win 8-7 on penalties.